Yeah, I keep thinking there's an R in there.
It is begin.
Oh man. Begging.
Let's find a music.
Oh yeah, we won't have our normal backgrounds.
Alright, so when we last left off, you guys ruined everything.
Now, saying you guys, I feel is unfair.
Strike has been nothing but a clean boy. You take that back. Or a clean bug, at the very least.
Yeah, Weimar should join too.
I don't know why player participation is just a problem with Fate and no other ones.
I always think that some hours before I should add everyone while they're online. I think no, this time they'll remember to be online. They showed me.
But next time,
they'll remember for sure.
Alright, one of you is unconscious.
Yep.
Four players is still good. It's just I'm used to the other groups of 7 players, so it kind of messes up my expectations, but
you need that rush of no one knowing what's going on.
I feel that's just more realistic that way.
It also helps for the idea of a ship's crew.
Mm-hmm.
So is everybody who has a character sheet in this physically present on the ship, even if their player isn't here?
The consensus has been, normally when a person isn't there, they're just there, they just don't do anything.
Polaris is off piloting nothing.
Just sitting up front, holding the wheel. Turning every once in a while.
He's got to be ready. In case they have to leave.
A moment's notice.
You got to be ready.
Oh. Hello, map.
My old friend.
Is that your first time seeing the corner?
Yep.
Oh.
The ship is significantly larger than everything. Wow, yeah, that is tiny. Oh, well, the zoom... Okay, you can zoom in way, way much.
Actual size.
I'm not sure who typed that. It wasn't me.
Actual size. DPS.
Oh no, the ship is right there. Okay, I see. Alright.
Alright, sorry Winnie, you can't fit in the ship. You're gonna suffocate in space.
Maybe actually. We didn't even summon anything, they just pushed the tower over.
So, on what day are we of our 7 days? Are we at the end of the second one, I think? Yeah.
I think we're
Still
number 2
day
now.
2.
But we were ending it. I remember.
I seem to remember. I seem to remember Fuse's plan was to make all of us pass out one way or another.
That was one possibility.
I mean, at this point, if nothing particular happened, we can just TLDR it.
Winnie, what are you up to?
Nothing until day 3.
Alright.
Okay, at 3 p.m. today, my moderate is going to start to heal from my middle tube thing.
Alright.
So, as a reminder, Strike continues to have the NPC quality. So
Yeah. Well, too bad, because you don't have anything to do anyway.
that's what you think.
I remember
Yes.
stating last session that what I wanted to do was on day 3, I wanted to get into some action to test out that whole leg situation. So
Alright,
yeah,
it's
that's what
day
I'm
3
waiting for.
now.
We did it. Day 3 out of 7. We're almost halfway there.
Not really.
Okay, so we get magic back, right?
If you spent a day working on it. Also, the 1 point.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
that's what Jazz has been up to. Like I said.
Yeah, I remember polishing the old sketchboard.
So running out of magic isn't going to be an issue for making sure that you stay here longer. 'Cause you get one of those every day, and Winnie doesn't even need them.
I try not to do anything that's too broken with it. Like, I wouldn't just say, I'm gonna pray that the enemies we're fighting just die.
I mean, you can do that. Just don't fail.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's balanced by the fact that failure is proportional to what you're trying to do, right?
It's like, they heard your prayer but misheard. It's like, oh, you want them to not die? You
Ever?
want them to... Yeah.
Alright, well, I mean, Sasha once tried to hurt you, so he counts as an enemy, so he also dies, and... Polaris has
if
been
you fail enough,
passive-aggressive that one
Winnie just
time he
drops
counts
dead.
as an enemy.
My own worst enemy. Me.
Yeah, Winnie, called herself dumb at some point 2 years ago, so she counts as an enemy, so she dies. Everyone's dead.
Well, by Night Juggler logic, anybody who is not an ally is an enemy.
Well, Hearthstone doesn't have room for a middle ground.
Everyone in the
That's-
universe dies, except for the group.
And even then.
And then your group has Winnie.
You did it, guys.
Peace! Intergalactic peace!
Alright, so new day, so I'm gonna do what I wanted to do, even though things happen that kind of make things weird. Because I wanted to have a rematch with the Battler Monster to see how this leg thing's going.
You're going to die.
That's the thing. That's the problem.
Well, the Battler Monster is also now Sasha.
That is true. And also, the Babbler Monster portion of it is, like, stuck in a containment pod.
The Babbler Brain.
Also, the Battler Monster is holding a tiny Battler Monster.
Yeah, why would
Things
put
are.
why would
Why
you put in the
is-
pot?
Why? Who did this? Who has permission to did that?
It's probably because we still had a tiny one on the map outside.
I accidentally made it smaller, I think.
Oops.
How small can you make it?
You need to make a new Babbler Monster. In the hands of the tiny battler monster.
I think I figured out what happened.
What?
When I gave Mayo control of the big token, since it, like the smaller one is a copy of it, or vice versa, I don't remember which one came first. It also inherited the properties of being controlled by him.
Yep.
I love watching that thing turn.
It's like a Silent Hill monster.
Oh yeah, everybody has control of Sasha, so anybody could have moved it.
That's what this session is.
Who moved the tiny battler monster? It's
Not
a mystery that will never be solved because I don't care. So what are you going to do about your various problems with fighting the babbler monster?
I mean, we don't need to fight it.
There you go, problem solved.
There goes your goal for the day, then.
Yeah, because now, because of the calming thing, I wouldn't jump myself to something suicidal. So I would instead ask if Winnie would be willing to summon just like a dumb lame thing I can beat up on, see if I can beat up on it.
And if you can't, you die.
You have to come outside and find me.
Well, I would. I'm operating on theater of the mind right now. But if you have to... Because I don't think you spent the whole night outside like that in the cold.
Yeah, actually, I spent the night with them to make sure they were safe.
Mesmerized by knives.
I just kind of dodge around on the sky of Everknife.
One thing is, I'm going to ask the knife juggler to just walk to the other side of the lake.
You can. Summoning stuff. Kind of stuck. It's all he does.
He can't move.
Well, then we're going to walk away from him.
You've betrayed him. You are now an enemy. Knife!
It's only a small chance that I get knifed.
Even if you were enemies.
Yeah.
Hey Lenny, can you summon the dumb thing I can beat up on and see if I'm impacted by my missing leg or not?
Sure. How potentially tough do you want it?
Well, I still want it to be worth it. Like, I don't want to feel bad.
Okay. So first I will prepare by, I don't know, doing something that'll give me +2. Let me see.
Last year I asked Fuse, hey, is it actually possible for PC to die in Fate? And apparently I made it my mind to figure out if it is possible.
It is.
Kind of have to work
difficult.
for it, though. Yeah.
I will do the dance of summoning a minion.
There's a dance involved now?
If you want it to be good, this is necessary.
Is this the first roll with every deck involved?
Wow.
Yes, it will be. No, you don't get an advantage.
Dang.
Well, yeah, now the scope is so huge. So
Another deck could have been added.
So then what you need to do is, you got here a person who can summon from all games, another character who can cast like the spell cards from all games, and have
Like, one of the card games in there is the Mega Man Battle Network card game. So I'm just imagining somebody, like, slotting in battle chips.
Sometimes it happens. So I'm taking with Athletic Zero. Doesn't get any advantages.
No.
Doesn't get a plus.
I'm gonna have to rack my brain for something that would be a good minion to summon, even though it's random. I'm working on being tired. Bear with me.
A pile of rats.
Okay, there we go. And I'll summon.
So, what?
A rat golem.
Oh, okay. No, that doesn't really work.
Still
Of
hard.
course it's Hearthstone still!
So yeah, using the free invocation.
How?
Look,
It's so much harder now.
it wants to ease itself into the new system.
First roll with the new cards. Still Hearthstone.
Somehow I expected this.
Come on, rat golem.
I should
Come on.
have.
Pile of rats in the shape of a
It's-
human.
It's a swamp leech.
I mean, Winnie, what are you doing? I said something not too lame.
And Milk's like, summon something that, for my current condition, would be a reasonable battle on offer a reasonable challenge.
It's a one health minion with lifesteal.
And he's like, okay.
I'm a little offended, but I try to hide it.
You know what? New plan. Let's test how good you are at fighting a group.
See how good you are at fighting a knife thrower.
I'll summon 2 more things.
Oh no!
Okay.
Got the 1K VWC. I'll figure out that one first. Soon
Gonna
as
have
I
to fight
find
the
those... There they are.
So much quieter without Mayo here.
There's the music on roll
Can you
20.
give me a 1D 172?
Oh, I just meant player-wise.
Fair. Sorry,
172.
Dad. We do not live up to the standards established by Mayo.
Oh, 1K BWC counts as a 1.
You said 172.
Yes.
That's how many 1K BWC cards there are.
Yep.
I think those are just the ones that Mayo is reformatted to the new format.
Oh no.
Sounds good.
You summon Demo firing an eye laser.
Well, alright, so that's where I die then. It's only fitting.
Slain by your own creation. And the Yu-Gi-Oh!
This could really be anything.
I like how this session, as of now, has been, alright, don't have anything to do, summon me a random encounter.
Huh. You summon... wow, this card is completely unreadable. You
wow,
summon the Raid Raptor Blade Burner Falcon.
That's a name.
Wanted something better than a leech.
Wow! Oh my god! Stacks.
I'm gonna put that also in the Discord for
I'm
posterity.
putting it on the street. Like, look at the name. Like, you can't read it.
Yeah, you can't read that. It's black on black. Like what?
Yeah, that's unreadable.
What does this say?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Why does a
Alright.
4-star monster have that much text?
Alright, so Winnie, does this count as a XYZ summoning?
I don't even know what that is.
No, it's not.
I have no idea. Alright, so are my LPs at least 1,000
Right.
higher than yours? No.
It's irrelevant.
What even are LP or life points? Okay.
Yeah, life points.
Your life
It's
points
not
are-
being XYZ summoned.
Right, that's right.
But it does have 1,000 attack and 1,000 life. So good luck.
Andy's first edition.
Alright, so there in front of me
Alright,
there's
so its text is irrelevant.
Alright. So in front of me there's a tiny leech, there's this winged bird thing, and a little cyclops shooting eye laser.
Yes.
Alright. Well, I'm just gonna get the leech out of the way and just step on it. Get it out of the way.
Alright, roll fight.
Alright. Wish me luck.
Don't die.
Leech is the strongest one.
Oh!
You win.
I did it! And that was stomping with the bad foot, so I know it's good.
Does the leg comply? Because it is alive.
It's just short of actively trying to kill you.
Alright, just short is good enough for me.
So is it treated like a? Is it treated like a disobedient? What's its disobedience score?
Does the leg get its own turn?
Like, realistically, you should be dead already, because this thing is, like, flailing around while attached to a metal pole that's stuck in your leg. That's also sharp on the end.
I do not have an explanation.
But it's fine, because you'll find another way to die.
Alright.
So
So that was...
Are any of the summon critters like actively aggressive, or are they just there?
Well, I'm gonna inform them that you wanted to fight them. So,
All right.
Eye laser.
Does anyone, like volunteer to go first?
After you stomped on one.
Well,
The weird sword chest metal bird thing is flying at you.
all right. Well, I'm gonna try to anticipate it and try to hit it out of the air and smash it against the ground.
Alright, give me a fight.
On it. Could be better. That's a 4, technically speaking.
Alright, let me check something for scale on the power of this thing.
Alright. Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
I believe usually they're organized by the hundreds. But
All right,
I would say just
it
make it down.
is 5 times stronger than Seto Kaiba.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sentence.
How much money does it have?
Because remember, Kaiba Man is an actual card in the game.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Alright, so between that and the magic roll, it beats you by a shift.
All right. And I mean, it's like, is it too late to put down the thing? No, it's not. Like, I can use a fate coin, right?
Well, I already described the result.
So it's too late. Okay.
Yes, you take a
All right.
1 shift hit.
Wow, it's a good start. What happens exactly? Like, what does it do?
Why are you asking me these questions?
Well, I want to
It
know.
charged at you with its blade chest.
Yeah,
It
like
stabs you with
it
its blade
attempts
chest.
to slam its chest blade into you.
All right.
What do you
Why
want,
does it
the
have
bird?
an actual sword in its chest?
Look, it is the sword. It's like a snowplow in front of
This
it.
bird is.
It's not a bird with a sword, it's a sword with a bird.
This bird is just like, all right, I've slammed into too many windows. Time to take this in my own hand.
That other bird and the reflection
how
is
does
gonna
this thing
get it
even-
finally.
How does this thing even fly?
It doesn't.
The wings are like attached to circles that just kind of
Yes.
like rotate.
It's a
Sorry,
helicopter.
bird.
It can't flap them, and it's certainly not trying to be aerodynamic.
You're
Like
right,
it's not
it's like-
operating by like jets or anything.
It cuts through the air. It's super aerodynamic.
The circle makes it look like it's supposed to be like a helicopter rotor, but it has no place to rotor.
It also has no rotor on the back of it, so it would just, if it did spin like that, it would just be flailing wildly. Also, I just
No,
realized
I
the
was
sword
thinking like
was-
the little circle spinning like the other way.
Even
Okay,
then, though.
sure.
Like if that little cylinder was like a jet.
I also just realized that the sword doesn't just like come from the chest going forward; it goes all the
Let me
way
put the
through.
picture back on stream.
Oh, I didn't. I legit did not see the sword part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's just
I
the
think-
It's got a
background.
sword.
I think it's a ground-based creature that skis along.
But it's in the air. It is clearly in the air over the ocean.
Yeah, it made a jump. What do you want?
It's a
All right.
land shark.
I'm gonna try
I
to hop
want
up
an
on it.
official description. I want Kazuki Takahashi to give me a description of how this thing works.
For 1996. No, Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic. We don't know.
What is this?
We didn't expect it to survive in a match long enough to be relevant.
Anyway, Demo shoots a laser at you.
Oh shoot. All right, let's
Yes,
dodge.
she did.
Made it sweet. I'm gonna. It's so a projectile thing. It's athletic to dodge, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna do that. Check it. This is how I die. Oh Jesus hell. Okay. Before I say anything, I'm gonna use a fate point. When at all costs, try and mitigate that a little bit.
All right.
I'm wondering if I should use that as an addition or as a re-roll.
You got 3 minuses.
No, it was 3
Yeah.
minuses.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna use that coin as a reroll.
4 minuses.
That's better.
Or no. Or
That's
1
the
minus.
same as having used
Huh.
it for a +2.
You are correct. Well,
Well, there you go. So no,
There you
no
go.
regrets, just love.
same cost either way, so.
Alright. You take a 1-shift hit.
Dang it! Dang it!
Well, it's a good thing you used that fate coin.
All my stress box is there. I got a
Hold
severe
on.
and extreme and moderate.
Hold on. Do you have any stunts that you haven't used?
I haven't used. I never got a chance to use the arena ability.
So you won't let me save you if you die.
Alright. Because the actual card this was based on was I shot the prophet, so it's all good in the end.
What does that mean? Am
What's
I
the
the
card
prophet?
So the effect of that card is destroy a card that has an effect which is not activated.
Oh, that's hilarious! So I lose a stunt.
No.
That's cr-
But wouldn't it destroy
It's
him?
like- yeah, like that would destroy you
Oh.
if it triggers.
this is how I always knew I would die by the hand of Winnie.
You came to Winnie! You're like, hey, Winnie, challenge me. He's like, hey.
Yep, that was exactly the way it was said. Alright, I'm gonna equate that to a +2.
Verbatim.
You take a
Alright.
3-shift hit instead.
What does that mean, though? If my physical is all filled up, what does that mean?
You take a consequence for the remainder.
Alright. So I got a severe and a moderate going, so I just take a mild?
Yeah, because then that with the 2 box adds up
Alright.
to at least 3.
Alright. Laser singed.
So you can't take any more hits.
No, I can't take any more hits.
If you get hit at all, even a single shift, you die.
So at this point, I'd like to add the thing I wanted Strike to do when he woke up was go talk to Milk.
Honestly, though, like, remember the reason I'm doing this is because I want to evaluate if I'm still in shape to do my job. I think that I can reasonably take this as a conclusion to just stop the fight and conclude that I am not in the shape to do my job.
And I will call them off if you say that.
Yeah, I'm clearly disappointed and not happy with this, but that's just the reality of it.
Should we have a laser shooting demo as a crew member?
Let's not try to bloat the ship too much.
I'm still trying to decide if she can turn it off.
It's just everyone she's met that hasn't reached their full potential at some point just takes damage upon meeting them. It's like, man, why do I feel? Ow, shoulders hurt. Limmer.
But yeah, I got the results of my test, and Milk is super bummed.
The results came back. You're still super injured.
We figured maybe he could work through it, but no, it's not happening. He's gonna go back to his room and be sad.
Well, that
Be right
happened.
back.
Strike knows where everyone hangs out on the boat, so it wouldn't be hard if you wanted to have a talk.
Laser Demo destroys the Raid Raptor Blade Burner Falcon.
Good.
Okay.
Its effect is not activated.
That's true. You know who doesn't get
All
destroyed by that
5
card's
lines
effect?
of it.
You know whose card doesn't get destroyed by the laser beams effect? Dagger thrower.
Also, herself. You know, that's actually kind of hilarious. In 1K VWC, if you play this card, it can target itself. Because before it destroys itself, it hasn't destroyed something.
I think in MTG, cards can target themselves unless, like, they explicitly aren't allowed to. So, yeah. Oops.
Well, now that happened, I guess I'll do the one thing I was going to do today. I'm going to summon a specific person to be the main help that's going to lead these people when I leave. So, let's see what invocation advantages that I create. I'm gonna go over towards the tower, find some old dead bodies, and drench myself in blood. It's part of the ritual.
Uh-huh.
Making advantages for this thing I'm going to do. Part of that is
How? With what?
I'm summoning something.
Like,
Why?
what skill do you use for drenching yourself in blood?
Athletics.
Craft.
I mean, this
Lore.
is just part of the ritual.
Yeah, but you still gotta roll a thing to get an advantage.
Fight.
Athletics for optimal rolling around in blood.
Yeah. I thought it covers swimming, right?
What do you want
Oh,
me
wait.
to roll?
Doesn't the knife thrower throw more knives now? Like, obviously way less than is relevant, but...
Yeah, at some point in the future, like 2.5 years down the line, it will throw 3 more knives. Though right now, like, I'm having trouble concentrating on anything other than the fact that the demo art that pictures demo on a train wasn't the one used for writing the train station a failure.
I mean, it's not the train a failure. Like, that would just be silly.
I guess.
So, do you want me to roll anything for this blood part of the ritual?
Well, you have to roll something.
You didn't have me roll when I collected those hearts and put them in a circle. It's like just a situational, environmental advantage, essentially.
Well, you'd have to spend a fate point to invoke it.
I could just spend the fate point, add +2 to the actual roll then.
Yes, by invoking it.
You being inconsistent.
Yep.
In that case, wondering if, like, I don't need this person to be particularly statted. I just need someone to lead them while I'm gone. So I think I'm just going to summon him and add fate coins if needed. And I summon Jerasum, Grand Vizier of the Conservatory. And I know no one plays WoW here, that is Jaraxxus before the Burning Legion came.
Wait, so just Hearthstone itself, the world of WoW, is just canon to this?
Pretty much.
Well, demo's canon.
That means Raukap is canon.
Also, because of this, canon is that there are 15 demos.
They're all different Super B demo summons that just kind of all got on their own ways.
Yeah, here's the magic coin since that's specific summoning.
Well, no, I would replace one of those with actually summoning Raukau.
Does Raukau get to play as Raukau?
No.
But
Because, hey there everyone, this is Raukau, that's a card. That's
So
a
if you
legal card that you could roll.
if you ever get it, I get to hear a few stations.
That's 137.
Anyway, yeah. So he has the personality of Jaraxxus, but is less destructive than Jaraxxus. And that's all I was really doing today.
Does he still call everyone insects?
Yes, probably.
That's Ragnaros.
Oh, right, sorry.
That kills everyone trifling gnome.
Trifling werewolf.
He probably would be outranking me in some kind of way, but whatever.
Your arrogance will be your undoing.
Too bad, because you're going to be in charge here in 5 days. And then I'll start hosting a class on making magic. And that's what I'll do for the rest of the day.
Alright. So, Milk, do you go get healed?
I did sign up, went straight to my room, so I don't think he would have thought of actually getting healed unless someone told him.
Alright, so you got shot by lasers.
I mean, I would lose my stress things though, so. Oop, oop. But yeah, I got mild laser sims going right now. Two minutes though.
Hold on. Hold on.
Healing. Oh, okay. Got to roll for
You
infection.
shouldn't have a mild.
I shouldn't?
No, you have 3 physique. Or no, you don't have that. Right.
Right, I don't have any computer.
Because even that's too much of going into defense.
No, Milk doesn't know computers, and knowing computers is how you get defense in this game.
Though, shouldn't you have 1 armor?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because it's physique plus 2.
but I put it all into offense. Like you're supposed
So
to
your physique is
decide.
3. So you
So
have 5 points to split.
Oh, I think it's because I raised physique in my leveling up at some point, and I didn't update that. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna add myself
You have
one armor.
1 armor.
Oh man. Moving
It
on up in
wouldn't
the
have
world.
applied.
Yeah, but still, good to know it's there. Yeah, it's me. I didn't update my things when I upgraded my physique at some point.
What's Chaz and Stroik doing? I always add in a T in there in Stroik's name.
Strike isn't in roll 20 anymore.
Huh.
I'm wondering if he's got internet problems or something. Because he just left the
Yeah.
chat room.
What's Chaz doing?
Stroik is unconscious.
Ralph is also unconscious.
Jazz is hanging out inside of the giant croissant.
Marv did say that they were pretty tired. I wonder if they fell back asleep.
Alright, well that was an eventful day.
Oh, Ruff is typing.
Oh,
Okay. Bless you.
We did not hear you. Alright, well, I guess nothing else happens that day.
possibly. If so, then Jazz gets a magic.
Can't believe it.
I can.
I will need to see further evidence.
I guess one thing I'm curious of is what are the other survivors doing?
Avoiding knives.
That makes sense.
Surviving.
Like, I was wondering if they were trying to, like, set up camps in some kind of way.
Yeah.
Like, what they were doing exactly by surviving.
Some of them would have probably been involved in construction of some kind.
So, Fuse, have you been?
Pretty good. Not too sick.
Did you have a fun, not yours birthday party?
I suppose.
Did you bring the person a present?
No.
For shame. How have you been, Raocow?
I'm doing normal. I didn't sleep all that much. That's maybe why I'm not as forward going as normal.
You don't have the health to be forward going.
Fair, I guess. I am, though, like, starting to feel the limits of Milk as a character. I mean, so we don't know what's up with Jan. Ralph is going back eventually. Do we just move on in the days in the game?
But what if Jazz wants to do something?
I mean, in that case, I would ask that you put an ETA on how long we're going to wait.
Ralph is typing.
All right.
Hey,
Hello.
next here.
Hey!
Sorry, I was running a little late, but I'm back. I'm here.
Alright, so just, like, I don't know if you knew the time that we play normally.
I knew that it was. Well, is it not like I'm 7 minutes late by my count? Is that right?
No, you're an hour and 7 minute late.
Okay, my bad.
That's what. It's just that I didn't know if you actually knew when it was that we started. Like I didn't. Recall.
I looked it up on the schedule. It said 2 p.m. Eastern time, and I converted that to Central time and told me it was. No, I know. It said it was 3 p.m. Wait, I thought it said it was 3 p.m. Eastern time, which means that it would have been 2 p.m. Central time.
Once upon a time it was 3, but I wonder if it was updated.
I mean,
I guess it
recently-
was.
Which schedule did you look at?
It was the one that's still pinned on the schedule and tabletop games, or is that maybe a previous pin that I shouldn't have looked at? Okay, so the first calendar pin I think is what I looked at, and I didn't realize there was a second calendar pin.
For what it's worth, we're not like mad or at you anything. If anything, your timing is kind of like an exact right place.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
We
it
haven't
does
done
in
much.
fact still say that.
It does. Yeah, it still says 3 p.m. So I
Yeah,
had thought
no,
about. I think I asked a few people too, but maybe time zones got things confused. My bad.
I did tell you 2 p.m. EST.
Oh, I probably read that, and then I was like, wait, is there a way for me to like figure this out without asking and being an inconvenience and being a whatever? So I just checked the schedule there, and I'm like, oh, okay,
It's fine.
Hello.
Welcome to the game.
thank you. Well, now I guess I'm interrupting whatever y'all guys were doing in order to like
Literally
create my character,
nothing.
though.
Yeah, we were literally just waiting.
Oh, you're waiting for me?
No.
Well, in game, we're just kind of letting the day go by because we're kind of done with what we wanted in this area, and you popped in.
Okay, so okay, cool, perfect. That works out. Nice. Okay.
Okay, so that's a problem.
What's the problem?
I can't actually fix the schedule because it seems like it only fixes one day at a time.
That's logical.
It's pretty good service.
There's got to be a way, or maybe there's.
I'm sure there's a
else.
way. I just don't know of it.
Hey, I should have 2 magic now. Because that's what I spent the rest of my day doing.
You have to spend the whole day.
No, you said 12 hours.
Man,
Don't think you can slip something past me.
me and my making arbitrary calls. And then forgetting about them.
Alright, so, Nakis, you've played Fate before, I think, right?
I've played Fate Accelerated, which is a simpler version of it. So I know how the game usually goes, and I've listened to 6 of the sessions that y'all guys have played through, and about half of the 8th. So,
Have you gotten through to us murdering everyone?
well, yeah, part of it at least.
Every session.
Almost every session. I had a little talk with Mayo about like, so what am I supposed to do with my character? Because nobody seems to be doing the Prime Directive. And do I work against that or for that? And I think I came up with something that will work out for us. The only thing is that I'm going to need help with the actual filling out the numbers on the character sheet, because I don't know necessarily how the character sheet works. It looks simpler than D&D. So I'm thinking that as soon as I describe my character, the numbers should fall into place. Hopefully.
Everything is simpler than D&D.
Yeah, it's a lot more malleable. Like, honestly, I would find it hard to go back to a static system like D&D at this point.
I would honestly be the same. The only way I played D&D was I had a really good DM that was like able to make things very streamlined for everybody else. But it was
so even before, like, so do you have a character in mind?
I do actually. So I have the character. I was still trying to come up with a name, but I think I got something at least. I got the high concept trouble first, best, and latest things, and I've got my character. But there's gonna be some of these.
Well, that's supposed to be first, best, and last, technically.
First, best, and last. Oh well, either way, it doesn't matter.
It's close enough.
So
Just
okay,
rechange
It is close enough.
Just rechange how you say it a little bit and it'll fit anyways.
okay. Do I need to like pull up the character sheet right now on Roll20? How do I do that?
Yeah, it just threw down a new character sheet.
Okay.
Awit Pin.
Okay.
You can change the name.
Cool. I will. Although I might need y'all's help figuring out the name because I only have a first name and I kind of want to have a silly last name, but I don't know what to do.
Like,
So,
I'm almost tempted to just figure out how you end up here with a team first and fill up the rest as it goes.
okay, I guess we'll do that then. So let me just describe the character, and then y'all guys can tell me if this even works with Fate. I think yes, but some of these things are a little weird. So my character, first name is Humorous.
Oh, nope, that doesn't work in Fate.
Oh, darn it. Okay. First name is John. No, okay. So the high concept is Butler of the Good Boy. Because I figured y'all guys need a character that knows the good boy and wants to serve the good boy in the center of the universe. His trouble, well, I'll go ahead and just actually skip the trouble real quick because this connects to it. He's actually a skeleton. My first aspect is Mr. Bones the Cyborg. So basically, what ended up happening was he was a follower of the good boy, and the good boy, because the good boy likes bones, freed him from his fleshly prison and allowed him to just continue to serve him. The good boy allowed humorous to serve him by serving others. And so he is a butler, both to the good boy and a butler to the people he serves.
Nope, skeletons are too scary.
Yeah, you'll be
Sorry.
banned from Hong Kong, sadly.
No. Do you have a large Hong Kong audience, Rocco?
You never know.
I suppose it's possible. But, yeah. So the reason why I wanted to do that was that so he's ostensibly a cyborg skeleton in that he has like his bones can be reconfigured to become whatever he like to reach high places and like turn himself into like ladders and random things.
Like you say cyborg, like is there like metal parts and wiring things, or is he principally a skeleton?
Think more nanobots.
Okay.
So like little nanobots that connect each bone and hold them together. There is like a shell part to his like torso, but everything else can be reconfigured.
Nano bones.
Yeah. I did draw a picture, but unfortunately I didn't have time to turn it into a PNG, so I'll do that probably while we're playing. And it's not quite done, but I'll make that happen. So his trouble is that as a butler, he wants to serve you. But it's not. I worded as serve hard to serve harder, because he's going to serve you in the way he thinks best. You might tell him you want a ham, and he'll probably get you the ham, but it might involve breaking rules that you didn't want him to break, or doing things you didn't want him to do.
Yes, I brought you an entire pig.
Yes.
Here, I will butcher it before you.
Exactly. Something along those lines. His best is gifted with the stick of beckoning. So the good boy, as a follower of the good boy, he's also been given the stick of beckoning, which allows him to not summon, beckon smaller good boys. Basically, he can summon dogs at will, just by throwing a stick at something, and they will appear to fetch it. And the dogs will serve him, and he will love the dogs because he loves dogs, because he's a servant of the good boy.
Does Winnie count as a dog?
That's a good question, and I think that'll be answered as we interact.
Yes.
Although, my guess is that Winnie would not be, in this case, a good girl. Seeing as she is a chaos and also worships the elder gods, which is probably something that my character might be able to sense, but I guess we'll see. But the good boy is merciful, and if Winnie ever wants to become a good girl, she may.
Would Winnie fetch the stick anyway?
It might happen anyway. We'll see. Maybe the dogs will fight. So stick of beckoning, and the last is. Oh, I thought I rewrote this, but we'll see what this happens when I say this. Friends in high places. So because he is a butler.
No, that quality is banned in my Shadowrun group.
Is it banned here as well? I don't know. I thought I rewrote it to be something else, but apparently not. So now I'm not entirely sure what my last would be.
Friends in low places.
Why is Fran in high places like broken?
Yeah, it's a completely broken Shadowrun quality. Perfectly fine here, though.
Like, I'm just curious, like, what does it do?
It gives you, like, a ton of extra, like, free... contact points.
Okay.
And
yeah,
you can use those to break the limit on how much stuff you can put into your contacts.
Well, in Fate, that's fine.
Yeah. In Shadowrun, it's like, hey, I know Damian Knight. He's my best friend.
I'm not entirely sure if that will how often this will come into play since we're explorers. I mostly did it because I wanted my character to be rich. Like he's served so many different like kings and people that one, he's rich, but he does have contacts if he ever needs to, so that he might be able to get things.
One thing I will warn you is that we have a resources stress box, and nobody has used it.
I mean,
like, so
There's
the thing is,
not
we're on
been an
the fringe
opportunity.
we're on the fringe of civilization.
okay. In
That's
that case,
fine.
I figured that
You haven't interacted with society yet.
Well, it will happen eventually.
Well, then here's what I'll probably say. Then maybe I'll just leave the last aspect blank, and I'll make that happen. Like I'll come up with something whenever something interesting shows up in the game. Would that work out? Because I don't know what else I'd put in.
End of any session, you can switch out aspects.
Okay, we'll see that. We'll go with what I have now and switch up as needed.
You can start typing these into the new character.
Yeah. So I also have another question about how the good boy would work in this game, because I have a thought for the good boy, and we'll see if this works out. But that the good boy does have some level of basically reality warping powers to replace objects with dog-related objects because the good boy loves them. So how this would work for my character would be a character would start would like threaten me with a sword and it's like, I'm gonna cut you, and then my character would be like, how are you gonna cut me with a bone? And then he looks down and it's a bone instead of a sword. Now obviously that depends on how well I roll, and the in-universe meaning of that would end up being more like not necessarily how well he prays to the good boy, but what the good boy happens to want to do at the time.
Alright, so you want to invest highly in magic and get a bunch of dog-related magic stunts.
Yes, basically. And I wasn't sure if that's really possible, but on the other hand, you did recently have a graffiti wizard who did mandatory world peace, so
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
the power
Also-
leveling
also I got back.
on this game. What's that?
I said also I got back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. So it really is like I was trying to figure out how the power leveling happens to work in this particular game, and figuring out if that idea was too OP. But I'm generally just going to use it for silliness.
I try to
Or
use
in
mine for
combat, too.
silliness, but then everyone dies.
Yep. Okay. I don't know.
You
Yeah,
get a bit
one
too
thing
silly
you'll have
sometimes.
Like, one thing you'll have noticed by watching this, like listening to the podcast and whatnot, Fuse is a very cause and effect GM. You do something, and we're going to see the cause and effect chain through to the end. So things that are done for silliness always almost tend to end up mattering in some way, which makes it interesting.
Well, that's the part of the fun of it, is it not? So,
Like the knife chuckler.
knife chuckler? Is that in the? I think I missed that one.
That's in the.
Oh, that's right. I had gotten to the point where the knife juggler showed up, but I didn't have time to listen to
Yeah,
that.
that's later in that session.
Okay. So, all right, cool. I might actually replace friends in high places now I think about it with like Krav Maga, because he has to protect the people he serves too. Does that work?
Okay.
Okay. Now he can fight. Now I just have to Google how to spell Krav Maga, and we're good.
And you see, you need to take that, but make a bone pun out of it. Otherwise, you're not allowed.
Oh. Well, technically speaking, Krav Maga is already a very bone-oriented martial arts anyway. Like, that's their whole shtick, is that they use the structure of the bones against the enemy. I believe, right? Either way. I'll figure out something. Okay, so now I got to start filling out some stuff here.
We all got written down, so it's just some copy pasting.
Yeah. Well, at least the particular things.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all guys have any ideas for a last name for Humorous?
Man, if you're asking for names, I'm not the person to ask.
None.
Just say Funny Bone because that's a good last name.
But Humorous is already a bone-related name.
If he's a butler, I feel that Humorous is actually his last name. Like, everyone just refers to him by his last name. We just don't know his first name.
That's true.
It's Mr. Humorous.
Dr. Humorous. No, I'm kidding.
Man, you got a PhD and you're working as a butler.
Yeah.
A PhD in butlering.
That would be a whole nother aspect, though, to say. I mean, could I argue that that my butler also has to know like doctor duties in order to sometimes save the people he serves?
I mean, if it's just on the spot saving, something like first aid and like first response thing is more than enough.
I was imagining a skeleton trying to take a bullet for someone, but not working well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll go start copying and pasting at least. And get
My question is, how did that guy ended up on this ship at this time?
That is a very good question because I haven't listened to the last part of your last thing that you did.
You know enough.
Winnie, the
we
skeletal
do.
smith that you summoned wasn't actually a skeletal smith. It was a skeletal butler.
That works fine.
Why not? Why not? You pulled me from my duties from another place, and I've just decided, all right, I guess I'm serving you now. Well, maybe not serving you, but serving.
It's
people.
true. It is summoning and not conjure. So it is taking people that already exist and bringing them there. So
It's
that would
taken
work
you
out.
like a day and a half to figure out that maybe you should say something.
I guess.
After you already helped me lift the rock and catch a leg. And then you just
I
kinda stood there.
I haven't listened to that part yet, so I don't even know what I've done.
all the things.
You know what? I'm gonna invoke summoning sickness and say that he wasn't in his right mind at the time. And it's only just now that he's regained full consciousness.
That works out. I think that's really creative. You were just a skeleton at the time,
I solved the problem.
but like 3 days later, now you're back to your actual self. It's like, whoa, where am I? What up with the snow?
Yep. So that's just how all.
Why
the
is that
characters
guy
will be
throwing
united.
knives?
Why is there a werewolf, and why won't she fetch?
I probably would fetch.
Okay, well, either way, we'll find out. We'll see how everything goes. All right, I'm plugging these things in. Again, I'm not sure how these numbers... Wait, where are the actual number things that we put in? Sorry, I'm unfamiliar with D20.
You put the skills in like... let's see.
Let me fetch the... There we go. There's the worksheet. I'm gonna...
Like, can you look at the other character sheets to kind of get an idea?
Oh, I see. Physical, mental...
Like, I just put the worksheet on the Discord. There's the list of all the stats we're using.
Sweet.
So
the
for your
bottom.
skills, you fill in all of the white boxes, and then there are 3 skill points that you can use to increase things. You cannot increase something to the point where there would be no skill below it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
Gotta be a
So-
stack.
Okay.
So, like, you couldn't increase +3 to +5 and +4 to +5
What I'm seeing in D20 is in this. See, I'm just making sure this is right. I can put +4 for one of these attributes or one of these things, and +3 for 2 of them, +2 to 3 of them, and +1 to 4.
Yep,
That's right.
that's the base.
Okay, perfect.
And then you get 3 points.
Okay, so the best thing that my character would probably be.
And the skill cap is currently at +5.
Okay, that makes sense.
With what you want, or the things you should probably emphasize. You probably want magic. You probably want rapport.
Yeah, I'll probably do magic as the number 1 since you really like. Well, he's not really a magician. He just, he follows the good boy.
You should have some amount of shoot for throwing bones.
Okay, so report would actually work as well because I'm going to be playing this character as a butler character. So, you know what? I don't know how many people we have high report in, so I think I'm going to put report under 3rd.
If you want to have your friends in high places, you probably want contacts somewhere in there.
Well, no, I'm replacing that with the Krav Maga.
Okay.
So
Right.
I mean, you could still have contacts.
So if you got Krav Maga, you probably want fight in there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably going to put fight in the fair
Probably.
category. Because ideally, he would use more of his powers, or I guess more of the good boy.
Technically speaking, you could, for example, give yourself the attribute of a martial art, not have any points in fight, and just fight using fate coins.
I suppose that's a possibility.
Or have no points in fight and just use stunts.
I'm gonna put fight in the fair category because I think that makes sense.
Use
mechanic
rapport in place of
probably
fight.
Yeah, you
To make
convince other
people
people
feel
to
so
fight.
bad that
No,
they
you
physically
convince
feel
bystanders
unwell.
to fight for you with rapport.
That was a concept I was thinking of introducing. He can literally put you down so hard that you don't want to fight.
That's will damage. Mental stress.
That's provoke.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably put that in fair for now. Because if he's also gonna be able to reconfigure his bones, would that be mechanic or would that be athletics?
Be craft.
Welcome back, Neon.
Thank you. My
you're
DNS server
alive.
decided to shut down for a while.
Also, I feel like empathy for a butler is something you want.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely empathy.
I'm going empathy on the good.
By the way, Jan, we're having a new character being built.
It sounds like it. We have a janitor and a butler now.
This spaceship is turning less and less spaceship.
Soon
Well,
we'll
it's just
be
becoming a
renting
nicer-
out the storage room.
And we kind of have a pilot.
I mean, I've been considering just having Jazz, paint a room.
Just paint doors. Have the rooms be wherever they lead.
I mean, I was just thinking of just, creating the entire room, including the door. Just, it doesn't actually exist anywhere.
Little pocket space.
Pocket space outside
Yeah,
of space.
exactly.
Oh wait.
So what happened while my internet decided to cannibalize itself?
Honestly, almost immediately
We got a new character.
Yeah, Mikakis, sorry, got in a call and we started work on our new skeleton butler.
Nice.
But he doesn't sound like Robotnik.
No. And he doesn't sound like Skeletor either. Okay,
You'll have to work
so-
on those. That's a requirement for being in this group.
But I do need to nail down exactly what would count for his ability to reconfigure his bones. Is that mechanic, athletics, physique?
Magic?
Is that magic? Because it shouldn't be magic because he's using his nanobots.
I like
it's
the
a
idea
stunt.
of using mechanic for that, but I feel it would be a stunt regardless.
Okay.
So what's the stunt? What are you asking your character to be able to do?
I'm basically. I want to be able. If you've ever seen the old DOS game, Mr. Bones,
I was
Yes.
just thinking of that.
Yes,
Yes.
I have.
that. So like, he can
Okay.
reconfigure his bones and add other bones that aren't his into his
Okay.
physical being, so that he can like make his arm like 3 times as long, but he only has
Huh.
like 1 leg.
So you are some nebulous bone golem because nanobots.
Basically, but very refined.
Yeah, see, I think that would be a stunt that to do complex things would roll mechanic. I think that to me makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I should probably put
Or computer.
Yeah. When I think mechanic, I think like gears and levers. When I think computer, I think circuits.
Because you're not like physically rewiring the bones. You're just like, hey, nanobots, do your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reconfiguring it.
All
I guess that would be good, because that would also help me out with my
Stress boxes.
stretch
Yeah.
boxes.
Don't
Yeah.
give you health, yeah.
All right, so that was what was that again? Sorry, computer. That's right.
I just thought about the
Obviously you
fact that Jazz, who is theoretically the ship's mechanic, does not have mechanics.
Just intuition.
So other
Okay.
important things. Notice influences initiative. Will and physique are good for armor and weapons. Will is also good for mental stress.
Okay, then I would probably have a fair amount of will. I'm just going to put that in average, actually, because I've already got so many things that I want to put up higher, and I'm not entirely sure how to configure it. I'll put will.
Your fair
Yeah,
is
you
average.
have fair at average.
Deceive. Oh, I have fair and average? Yes, I do.
Yeah, you should replace that with deceive.
Yeah.
It is your
Will
deception.
and deceive. Will, deceive.
Shoot will
Oh,
deceive.
I completely forgot about notice. Hold on, notice should be up high, because a butler needs to understand his surroundings.
Replace fight.
Yeah.
I would
yeah.
replace provoke personally, maybe. It's your call.
Replace one or the other.
Yeah.
Replace both.
Ideally, he would not need to fight as much, but I know that with this party, I'm going to be.
I mean, maybe the introduction of the butler will change the dynamic. It won't be as violent anymore.
I doubt that, but we'll see.
The introduction of the butler and the
Hey, we
fact
got
that
the
Milk
new
is like
peaceful Milk.
almost dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
milk is changing.
Strike is less about fighting people and more about surviving fights with people.
All right. Just because we already have a lot of fighters, I'm going to put fight in average.
And Winnie
and
doesn't
I'll
really
put-
try to do all of this stuff.
I've only purposefully killed one person, which was the one I got for food.
And you wait, who was the one who accidentally killed the entire city?
That was Winnie.
Okay, yeah.
What's Winnie's death toll up to? Like 50 million now?
On a one
Not
planet.
that-
Like, that doesn't count the feedback of the honey storm in the first planet.
Shouldn't a butler above notice also have investigate?
Oh, yes, you're right. Crap.
Shouldn't
It's
you
not
also have all of the stats?
It's
No.
not just
I beat everything.
passive. It's not just passively noticing when things are out of place. It's actively looking for things that are out of place.
But remember,
it's trained to the point where it's just passive.
remember, you got 3 skill points, so you can add more.
That can be a stunt.
Okay.
I just had an idea. Have like bone data chips, so you can take them out for different skills.
Okay, so you're saying that I can sacrifice some refresh to get more skills?
No,
More
because
stunts.
of like where we are in the game, you have 3 extra skill points.
Okay, and then I can just choose to. So, like for instance, I could add either one more good attribute, or I could like add 3 more averages, right?
Right.
Okay.
So you could put
Or
like
fair and
notice.
average, or you could get like rapport up to 5 and magic up to 4.
Or yeah, something like that. But like, I just think if you also want
And a
investigate,
+1.
that would be a good way to do it.
I'll probably put investigate in fair. What? How do I do this? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That was good.
Yeah, just type into gray. It's
I see.
Wait, is it 3 or 4 extra skill points at this point?
we're at 3.
Mhm.
We did the
Short
math
okay.
last time.
Or no, it is 4.
Yeah, like last time we were at 3 and then got 4.
Right.
So
Okay.
Strike just hasn't spent it then.
Okay, so Strike has 2 extra skill points laying around.
Yeah, I
1.
haven't spent it either, but I have it like recorded that I have
Well-
an extra one.
Strike has used.
Has used 3.
Okay, yeah.
So, what was the other thing you guys said that a butler should probably have?
Everything.
All of the everything.
That's not what I said, but yes.
I don't know.
Well, okay, what is
so
your
you could
job
get
description?
investigate up to +2 and still get something to +5 and fill in the gap.
What is your self-proclaimed job description? What do you want your butler to do outside of clean? Because that's my job. Get your own.
Oh no, he is definitely he is the gopher. You tell him to get something, and generally speaking, he will try to serve you to get it. Again, it might not be in the way you want him to, but he will.
Athletics to perform quickly.
I guess maybe. So actually, let me get this straight, because if I move rapport to 5, then I would only be able to boost.
You would have
another...
to put magic or computer to +4.
Okay, and then I would have one less +3 thing. So
Right.
okay.
So you'd have 2 solid lines at the bottom, and then just a little tower coming out.
Yeah, I guess I could do that, but I think rapport is good at 4. I think I kind of want shoot to be higher if I'm going to be throwing bones like 6 and stuff. So like I think I'm going to add another fair to shoot.
You could like improve. You can't add another fair.
Yeah, so the rule of the
Okay.
pyramid dictates that for every line there has to be a line of equal or greater number beneath it. Everything has to have something
You
underneath.
can't have something of greater number beneath it.
No, you need to imagine like if there's gravity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that makes a lot of sense.
That's what I meant. Like
Shoot
if you
would fall and
have
explode.
5 stunts at 4 or 5 skills at 4, then you couldn't have less than 4 at 3.
Yeah, I get you. Okay.
You could get a +2 all the way up to +4.
I could. So
+4 notice.
that actually probably would be best.
+4 magic, +2 notice.
Well, rapport and
Or
empathy go well
+3
together.
magic, or +3 notice rather.
Does our group have a face?
Not really.
We do now.
So, rapport and empathy, a power couple right there.
So I should move empathy up to good.
If you want your character to represent the group in terms of bureaucratic process,
He's probably going to end up being that, because he'll notice that is, sort of a gap in the character, and so in order to serve you best, he will also represent you.
good luck compensating for Strike.
Oh, it's
So
going
then,
to
do you
be-
put a 3 up to 4, or do you get an extra 1?
It's not just like compensate for Strike and Sasha and.
Well, I already did. I already do that. Okay, so I have one more point to put into something. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, so you could put your empathy up to +4.
And your
Armor
investigate died.
Yeah.
No, I moved my investigate over.
Also,
It's
like,
unfair.
You need to click off to actually change anything.
Oh, my bad. Well, I guess this could be an opportunity for me to move shoot. No, I can't do that. Sorry about that. Okay. Well, I guess I could move empathy all the way up. Why not?
+4.
But let's go the full. Let's just go ham on this this face of the group thing and see what happens.
So you're really good at reading people.
Yeah, actually,
It's like reading people and working that angle.
okay. I think
That is
that'll have
4.
to do because I don't think I could finagle this to try to get anything else.
You could, yeah. So like, this is right because it's a default skill tree pyramid, and then imagine +1 adds something at the bottom, and then +3 raises it up 1, 2, 3 up to +4.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like your schema is like the same shape as mine. So
Okay, cool. All right, I'll probably go with that. Where do I put the name of my character?
Up at the top, ID.
Oh, ID. Oh, okay. Let me make sure that I spell humorous the bone properly. I think I know. Yeah, that's it.
Ross.
Humorous.
It's +3, and then we added one later,
Yeah.
or like last session.
Is the refresh the right refresh? It's 4?
that is for now.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. You know
I
what?
said
Let's do
+3
this.
earlier because Sroik was not having spent the last point.
I've come up with the first name, and I'm surprised I didn't come up with it already. Alfred Humorous.
It's pretty
That
good.
way I can make the Batman joke.
I get it.
Okay. So do I need to figure out the stunts now?
Stunts.
Or this time. Okay.
So you have between 3 and 6 stunts.
Okay. So I'm thinking Word of the Good Boy, which is his ability to get the good boy to replace objects with dog-related objects. I guess it's +2 to magic when invoking the good boy.
Either that or don't spend a coin
So make it
for
a free.
transforming something into a dog thing.
Okay. No, don't use a coin. Okay.
Basically, if it's something you want to use often, that's the stunt you want.
I got a high enough magic that I think I could do that. So don't use a coin.
Because with 3 magic, you have 3 magic points plus 1 that refreshes daily.
Yeah. Plus I can.
It takes 12 hours to rebuild another magic point after you've spent it.
Oh. Well, you also can get them by invoking your trouble,
Nope.
but I'm not sure how often. What?
No, that's fate points.
Oh, magic points.
Yeah, fade magic coins are different.
That's
Like you'll
right.
notice on the main thing, there's the bronze coins and the golden coins.
Is that on my character sheet or is that
On the main screen in Roll20, where all our names are.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll take a look. I get
How many
you now.
magic
Okay.
points does Jazz have when they have all of them at this point, anyways?
So, Word of the Good Boy wouldn't be using a magic point. to use,
6.
If that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
6? Is it 6? They have 5 magic.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds good to me. We'll just call this one extreme chiropractor for reconfiguring bones. And I guess that's a +2 to mechanic, or +2 to computer.
It allows you to use computer for that.
Okay. Use computer for... Okay. How many stunts am I allowed to have starting out?
Just get 3 for no cost, and then for each additional one, you spend a point of refresh.
Okay, that's
And
consistent with what I know.
And you can go down to a minimum of 1 refresh. You cannot spend the last point.
Okay, makes sense.
I'll be right back.
Well, I'm supposed to be able to summon dogs too, so...
All right, Toby.
Oh, good, another summoner.
Yeah, nothing wrong. It never happens with that.
I'm gonna try as hard as possible to insist that it's Beckoner, just because that's funny, but yeah, essentially it's summoning. You don't summon a dog.
Yeah, you don't summon them. You just ask them to come over, and they do.
Yeah, I just throw a stick and they show up. Oh, I guess also part of the whole replacing things, because my butler wants to serve people as good as possible, and the good boy helps him do so, like, he would also be able to summon objects. He would have to roll pretty high for this to get exactly what he wants, but he'd be able to summon objects that are either similar to or what the person wants, assuming it's not super specific. Like, you couldn't ask him for, like, the Infinity Stones or anything, but you could ask him for, like, I don't know.
The Chaos Emeralds.
No.
You could take a...
But if you wanted, like, a red wine, a glass of red wine, then I could use magic to summon a glass of red wine.
You can take another stunt for making that not cost things.
So,
Yeah.
comforts, basically.
More or less.
Objects of somebody
Comforts are
else's
simple
desires.
objects. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important that it's not something you want, but it has to be someone else.
Yeah,
Objects
exactly.
of reasonable desire.
But Winnie would just want dog things.
Sorry, we're all out of Infinity Stones.
Alright, so Stick of Beckoning, would that be like not using a magic point to summon dogs?
And make sure you have a stunt to make all players draw until they have 3 cards at the end of their turn.
I assume that's a reference to something, or is that a thing?
It's an Hearthstone reference.
I don't play Hearthstone.
Yay.
You're not alone. Okay, and I guess I'll give a +2 actually to the because I should be able to spend magic points, and the whole serving people exactly what they want thing could be very handy, but it should have a cost. So I'll probably just do a +2 to that one.
So +2 to summoning things that other people want.
Yeah.
You know, I really want to see you get a stunt called It's a Cookbook.
What would that even do?
I think that's a reference to something.
Yeah, I don't get the
I
reference.
feel like
It's a Twilight Zone episode. Aliens came and started like picking people up. They had a book titled "To Serve Man." Like the big twist at the end was like, it's a cookbook.
Yep.
It's one of the super early Treehouse of Horror episodes.
It's a classic. Oh yeah, it's probably a
That's
reference.
where I heard of this. So,
Because it's a
alright.
classic.
That said, I probably will say something. If the thing that he's trying to summon conflicts very muchly with the good boy, it probably won't happen. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's like if you were trying.
That'll be a compel that you'll get a coin instead if you don't want to do something.
Yeah, basically. Because that is his trouble, because he wants to serve, so I'd have to overcome the trouble, I guess, in order to not do that.
Or gain fate points and serve people.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, okay.
So anytime anybody wants anything, you have to resist a compel.
Oh, boy. Okay, I think that could be fun. Just please try not to abuse that, because I don't want to be asked for a bunch of weird stuff. But then again, I suppose I shouldn't ask that anyway.
Bring me the head of God.
I mean, if you keep
Which
accepting
one?
compels,
In
you'll
this
have
universe.
You'll have extra fate points to resist compels.
Yeah.
If that's a thing you're interested in doing. Some sort of weirdo.
So wait, explain that. Say that again.
So you can use a fate point as to spend it to not do the thing that the GM is compelling you to do, instead of receiving a fate point for doing the thing the GM is compelling you to do. So it's like, oh, this man has just asked for your friends to die. And you are compelled to help him with his goal. This is a thing he very much wants.
Okay. So
No, I
so
don't want to do that. Spend the fate point.
I have to spend fate points to not do things. Is what you're saying.
If it's a compel.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Because then it would be the opposite if it was an invoke, I guess, or something.
Alright, so you went with +2 for summoning objects of desire instead of not using magic point?
I mean, what else would I use the magic point if I didn't do that?
Anything.
So, anything.
If you know magic, you can do magic.
Well, all my stuff is good boy related, so
Like,
You
with
can use
magic, you have a +3 skill that you can use for literally anything.
That other skills don't already cover. Or can you?
Anything.
Alright. With
okay. I'll go ahead and say doesn't use a magic point and see what I can do with it. All right.
the lowest level of
Okay.
milestone lets you reword a stun, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That is one of the options.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I need to figure out like what exactly makes pop art a stunt. Because just as it's written, it's just sort of something I can do with magic anyways.
So actually, I noticed the stress boxes. This will fill out when needed. Okay, I see. Okay, I believe I'm done.
So a butler poofs into existence.
I guess what your pop art does is that you don't need to roll for it, like so there's no risk, you just do it.
Actually, let me go quickly use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what was established is that, remember how when one of the summons last time was a skeleton guy? Turns out it was our now skeleton butler.
He came to his senses and realized, oh wait, I'm actually Alfred Humorous.
I was thinking it's like the good boy sees our actions like, all right, you chaos agents. Like, have a good boy to keep you in check.
Yeah, for pop art, go ahead and either add without spending a magic point or without having to roll.
Is that for me? Oh, you're talking to them. Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
All that without spending a magic point, because rolling is fun.
Rolling is fun.
And also I've got like +5 magic, and also a stunt that improves that, so I don't really have to worry when it comes to rolling for doing that.
So what would be the difference between rolling high and low for popping a piece of art out?
Well, you wouldn't be rolling for popping it out, you'd be rolling for arting it.
Then why was there an option for not costing or not rolling?
If you chose not costing, then you could... if you chose not rolling, then you could just spend a magic point to pull anything out of any surface.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd prefer not using a magic point so I can just, like...
Keep
use
your
it
magic
with...
for world peace.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't have to, like, worry if it's, like, a good use of a magic point when I do it.
Realistically speaking, because of Jazz, we are like never anything.
What?
You cut
Like
out in the
if
middle.
you ever need anything, just need to draw it and pull it.
You cut out at just the right moment the first time. It sounded like we are never anything.
In want of.
Yeah.
Did we take Jazz's vehicle thing that he made with us from the Honey Planet?
Probably not.
It was pretty big, I reckon. I don't think it would have fit.
Strap it on top of the ship.
Well, it's a bit late for that. Should have thought of that back then.
What they did take
The
was,
straps
like,
melted in the
anti-fire
Christmas
thing.
episode.
What Jazz did take that they made on that planet was the sigil of non-fire. So we've got a weird fire extinguisher.
How
I
would
had
you
forgotten
take
about
that?
I picked it up.
It's a sigil.
Well,
He drew it, then he
I don't
cut it out.
Like, did you carve out the floor and take it with you?
no.
I
remember
recall,
I did it.
Like the sigil was something that Jazz painted.
Yeah,
So by the logics of the pop-up ability,
but
that
it's not
they
an
had back then-
object.
It is now.
It's like a chakram. It's like a peace chakra.
Yeah, I was thinking just like picked it up like it was a rug.
Peace rug. When you're standing on this rug.
All right, I'm back.
So, day 4?
Oh no, Winnie! One of your summons have gained sentience.
Well, they're already sentient people.
Well,
I'm
okay,
sorry.
independence.
Gained a player.
Well, it's less that I gained it, and more that I've reattained it.
Well, like from Winnie's point of view, it's like suddenly, whoops, they're like fully independent.
Wait, that wasn't a smith.
'Cause we're not going to day 4, because I want to see that scene played out.
Well, then, depends on when we're saying that he gained his independence.
Oh, also, it's a good thing that you could have picked that rock up on your own,
Yes, it is.
because
What have I
Alfred
done?
does not have physique.
It doesn't.
That's just fits what actually was happening.
Can you help me lift this rock? Lifts this rock. This one.
I mean, even a weak person can help push a small amount. But it was actually all me. Anyway.
It occurs to me that I probably should have put something in physique.
Your bones.
I like to think,
Yeah, but nanobots.
it's like a person who really enjoys doing things for people when they ask him to do things. Help me do this thing that you physically cannot do.
See, that's just funny.
Yeah.
I guess that would work out.
No,
Help
trying to think
me
if there's
be
anything that I
dissatisfied.
would replace.
Thank you. You failed.
Mr. Butter, can you just ruin my day, please?
Thank you for that. You made my day. You're fired.
You know, it might be kind of a risk, but I could get rid of fight, bring down provoke, and then make my physique a fair.
Also, physique still determines weapon/armor.
I mean, he is a skeleton, so he doesn't really have much of that anyway.
Physique
What is your
plus
weapon
2.
slash armor?
But physique would be useful for being able to do things quicker. And he is, being that he's a skeleton, he's also extremely flexible. So,
Take some armor for being hard as bone.
yeah, there we go. Physique, and I either get rid of fight or I replace it with my deceive.
I was thinking of.
Wait, I already have deceive in one. Did I put deceive twice? Okay,
You deceived
deceive is
yourself.
+2 now. Problem solved, I guess. Okay. Cool. And my character is still called Yoit Pin, though. Oh, I have to click edit. Okay. No?
I was thinking one
Okay, there it is.
interesting stunt would be you, whenever you take damage, you just instead fall apart, and then you have to rebuild yourself.
That would be pretty cool, actually. But
Going
then
full
I'd have,
Mr. Bones.
I kind of want to do that now, but that would mean that I have to like get rid of another refresh.
Save it for next one.
I'll see what happens. I'll go with what I got.
Didn't
Actually,
Fuse at one
wouldn't
point say
Fuse-
this is a low combat setting?
Couldn't I also argue, instead of making that a stunt, that it can become a consequence?
What?
Like falling apart, it sounds more like a consequence than it is a stunt. Like, it's
Like,
not
you
good
could
that I'm falling
throw
apart.
away your bones in place of taking damage.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, like, huh.
It's as though I just let the bone.
So you'd
come
have
off
like 2 bones for each limb, torso, and a head.
me. Yeah.
I think the head is kind of the central point.
Oh,
In Mr. Bones, it was the head and the spine. The ribs were a detachable part, but the head and the spine stayed. And the ribs needed to be attached before the arms could. So it was like... It was 2 arms, 2 legs, ribs, and a pelvis. That's what it was.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and keep my refresh the same, and if I want to change it later and add that stunt, then I will. I'll keep what I got.
Oh, okay.
Onward.
So that'd be an extra 7 shifts of damage that you could take before hitting consequences. At
If
the cost
I went for
of
that.
losing access to your limbs.
And everything that implies. Alright. I like the idea of that, but it sounds like the player in question wants to move forward before committing to it. I second that motion.
Darn it. I always second guess things like this.
You
My
don't
thing
need
is
as
that
much
I'm not
refresh
entirely
since
sure.
you have very exploitable trouble.
I suppose that's true, because I have no idea how exploitable it's going to be. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take the stunt.
Yay.
You've
After
done
much
it.
deliberation.
Sweet.
Well, yeah, Stroik, since you were offline, is there anything you wanted to do on day 3? If you were
Wait.
conscious?
Yeah, wake up. And if not, get a fate point for not having woken up.
No, you weren't there.
Hey, not an excuse for you. My DNS server went out.
Alright, what did you want to do?
Wanted to go talk to Milk about why he does not kill everyone.
Why do I do? Good
Specifically,
question.
specifically, Shrike wants to know. No,
Hey,
seriously.
Milk, why?
Seriously, specifically, Shrike is curious why the strongest member of the crew does not dominate the rest of the crew. Obviously, they have the power to do when obviously they have the power to do so.
Who is the strongest member of the crew?
Yes, I'm curious.
I mean,
about
Oh,
this too.
Strike's over here now.
The person who Shrike saw missed someone with a punch. That's who.
I mean, if you want a real answer, right? There's just not really any point to it. Like, I don't fight to dominate or whatever. I fight because it's fun. It's no fun fighting someone who can't fight.
Fun. Shrike. That's all Shrike says, but seems to be very much in confusion.
Wait, what did you say?
Shrike just repeats the word fun, but in a very confused tone.
You don't know what fun is.
No response.
Enjoyable?
Well, fun is serving others so that you can be loved and enjoyed.
Shut up, Skeleton, you're outside.
You're not present
Okay.
for this scene.
Yeah, pleasurable.
Here's a-
Like,
Convenient Cubone.
Yay!
oh,
There we go.
The old
I'm gonna have a hard
CC.
time replacing that picture. Cuban's awesome.
like okay, like that's right. Like when you got nothing to do, like what do you do?
Wait.
You wait. You wait for what?
Hunger. Danger. Something to run from or to.
All right, so you never like just do something because you want to.
I want to survive.
All right, but do you want? So okay, so you don't feel a need to do something beyond surviving.
What else is there?
Man, okay, Troy, I've got so many things to show you. So, for example, when you eat, you never seek out things that taste specific things.
I seek to rid my environment of waste.
Yeah, but like beyond that, like let's say you've got a choice between a pile of dust in one corner and a pile of like leftover apples in another. Would you not prefer one over the other?
Are the apples rotten?
Yes.
The rotten apples do smell better to me.
So, fun is seeking out those things that you like a little bit more than another thing.
Fun is
Going
eating
at a-
rotten apples instead of
getting-
dust.
Getting at a very, very basic level. It's just choosing something that just feels a little bit better, but at a higher scale.
F is for friends who do stuff together.
Also,
You
if
is
you want to know
the
what
man.
fun is, there's this really great YouTuber that plays a
Somebody did a hitman take you out before you could finish that thought? What happened?
No, I realized how dumb it kind of sounded. I was like, oh,
Okay.
I'm not going to continue that joke because everybody already knew what it was.
Fair enough.
I mean, like, if you don't know what it is at all, like, I'm not okay. Troy, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not the smartest guy in this boat, but just like hang around a bit, and I think it's something you'll be able to understand over time.
Alfred, what is the meaning of fun?
But yeah, just keep in mind, there's always, whenever you have a choice, there's always one of them that you'll want to do first. Keep that thought in mind in the next few days. Think about it.
Strike reacts in a very silent, contemplative manner and then skitters off.
Who is the smartest person on the ship?
I think it depends
Currently, it's the Babbler monster.
a lot of people's experiences on the ship like just are about extremely different subjects, so it would be a hard thing to answer, I feel like. Considering I think Sasha's the only one that has like a college experience, probably him in terms of book smarts.
Except the one with that brain is the Babbler monster.
Well, yeah, but like, I'm still talking about Sasha though. Fire Monster is another person.
So this interaction turned out a lot better than the initial version of my idea of this interaction of Stroik being on the ceiling looking down at Milk as he wakes up, asking why he hasn't killed everyone yet.
And yeah, like, so again, just to reiterate, during the whole rest of the stay on this planet, like unless there's an external stimuli, Milk isn't going to be doing much more than trying to meditate in his room as he focuses on his sadness at not being as efficient at what he feels he should be good at.
He should be doing fun.
He would, but that's why he's sad. It's because he can't.
Fair. So, day 4.
Well, first, Alfred wakes up.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
McNackus.
So, where am I now?
You are outside in the snow. There's a whole bunch of people around. There's a
Like,
ship
lot of
nearby,
lizard people, or what?
and there's a
Wait,
fallen tower near you also.
There's also a lake and a guy throwing knives.
well, this is a predicament. I turn.
There's also a
to-
werewolf.
There's also a werewolf.
And a snowy thing.
Who is the first person nearest me? Like, it doesn't even need to be a player.
Yeah, let me roll a d2. On a 1, it's Winnie. On a 2, it's Demo.
Oh yeah, Demo's still around.
I thought you said she destroyed herself.
No, I said that she could in the game.
Demo.
Okay, is this the demo?
Yep.
Yes,
The
Demo's here.
one-eyed monster demo. Oh, okay. It's like, excuse me, where am I?
Demo fires a laser.
Well,
Oh,
you didn't get to learn much about humorous.
By way.
rest in
Fires
peace,
a laser
humans.
as way of greeting.
Can you go ahead and give me athletics?
Okay, how do I roll in this thing? / athletics or something like that?
Click the little die that's underneath the rectangle.
I usually roll from my
Oh,
character
no.
sheet. if you go to your character sheet, there should be dice
Yeah.
right
He doesn't have
beneath
athletics.
the
And
skill.
if it's a thing you don't have, you just click on all
Ooh.
mediocre skills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mediocre is what you don't have at a number above 0.
Alright, question. Does Laser Demo have a weapon?
I don't think so. Unless you count the laser a weapon, but I wouldn't.
That's what I'm asking.
You know, I'm starting to think that physique would make more sense as athletics, just so that he can do tasks quicker.
Athletics is like enduring thing, like endurance stuff, and speed. Physic is like strength,
I see.
lifting, pushing.
Well,
I want to give her weapon 4, but I also don't want you to immediately die.
Wait, did any of the Hearthstone, because I know there's a lot of Hearthstone cards, did any of them have like a destroy weapon effect?
There are some.
Okay.
None of
fine.
these.
Well, yeah, none of these though.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I'll stick with physique for now and see what happens. Okay, so
No,
I don't have athletics, so
Yeah, you roll a mediocre skill.
okay. Window.
Oh no, she has +2 also because you haven't used any stunts yet.
Yeah. This looks like a fine person to interact with on my first day of existing.
You rolled
Wow!
Okay.
What? Alright, how much armor did you have?
Wow!
Armor?
Yeah, how much
I mean,
armor
I
did
have-
you invest in?
Well, I have 2 physique.
Yeah, so you have 4 total points. Did you invest nothing in weapons?
No, I didn't.
Alright, so that's 8.
So wait. Hold on.
Okay, so
is weapons a separate section?
Yeah, I don't think you went
yeah.
over this with them fully yet.
We put this in the extra. Basic,
Oh.
like if you look like on my character sheet, for example, basically for physique, you got like a weapon and armor. You get your 2, you distribute it. No, in your case, you got 4. So you distribute it however you want between weapon and armor to a maximum of 4.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
And what this does is that whenever you roll a plus, that die is doubled. So if you got like plus 0, 0, 0, that first one, instead of being worth 1, it's worth 2.
So if you
Alright,
have
so
4 armor,
go ahead and check off your 4 box for physical. And congratulations, your first action in the game is successfully resisting a 12 shift hit.
Wow.
Wow.
okay, so where
on a mediocre dice.
On
Yes,
mediocre
on a
dice.
mediocre roll.
Yeah.
okay, so physical what I'm sorry, say that again. What am I supposed to do for the physical?
Mark your 4 box.
Just
Mark
click
the
on
box.
each of them because they're spent.
I see. Okay.
No, just the 4 box.
Okay.
Yeah, because he resisted
Right.
12 with an 8.
Took 4 damage, which was absorbed by the 4 box.
Right.
Each of those boxes can absorb up to their number of damage all at once.
Okay. So so you were saying though that weapons and armor splits my physique?
Yes, for each point of armor you have, each like that many of like the first that many pluses that you roll, or the pluses that you roll on the first that many dice count for double.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
with
that's what I
4
was-
armor, with a roll of 4 pluses, that's 8.
I see. Okay. So yeah, I honestly I don't have any weapons. And my character might not ever kind of use weapons because he would probably just use his bones for that.
So all 4 of your points go into armor.
I'll probably just do that, honestly.
Otherwise, you take a
Because I
consequence.
also have the stick of beckoning, so I can use other things. I can fight in other ways, so I'm doing that. Cool.
You should empathy the eyeball man.
I don't know. I have just been thrown into this world, having no idea how I got here. And the first thing that I talk to shoots me with a laser and almost kills me.
Does
I'm
no
running.
damage. Doesn't even scratch you.
Well, you can sense it's a powerful blast, but you're better.
It
Just
misses you
decimates
and
the
then
landscape
just...
behind you.
That was extremely rude.
And then Demo just kind of turns around and walks away.
Is it one of those anime lasers where it like goes across the landscape and like a second later the trace of the line explodes?
Demo
Yes.
looks down, fires a laser, and flies off into space.
See you later, space eyeball.
She'll be the final boss later.
Probably.
I mean, this is final boss power, so
Yeah,
No,
but
demo
final
would-
boss having an ability to destroy things that haven't used one of their stuff. It's like you've played through the whole game. Looks like you've used all your skills. Oh well.
If you have a skill that you haven't used, that's your fault.
Yeah.
If anybody ever makes a Kirby ROM hack Rowcow themed, then Demo should be the last final boss. There's
Not
already
now.
plenty of one-eyed
But-
ones.
Not
Mm.
now, but at some point we need to come up with Rowcow themed Kirby powers.
Kirby absorbs Demo and becomes Cyclops to Kirby.
I think he already does that.
it's
So
just Kirby.
Waddle Doo?
Just,
Yeah,
Just like Kirby does
except
with
there's
every
a big
other.
eyeball instead of like Kirby opens its mouth. It's an eyeball there.
Waddle do.
yeah. All right.
Alright.
Anyway,
The
so
ability is the ability to jump into enemies and not get damaged back.
So,
the other people around me, they don't seem to be paying attention to me at all. I turn to the only other person that appears to have any resemblance of like being able to help
Agency.
me. Agency. So I guess I turn to Winnie and go, "Will you shoot a laser at me if I ask?"
Oh, let's see. Did I notice the laser?
It was a series of lasers.
I would have come over and asked, "What the hell is going on over here?" And then
And
run
that would
into
be
you.
when Demo flies away.
See ya. And
So you don't know what's
I guess-
going on either?
no.
Were
Not with
you
what just
also
happened.
spontaneously teleported from your duties to an unknown location?
No, I got here via spaceship.
Okay, so at least
Don't
your
you-
situation makes more sense than mine.
I'm not so sure. Also, I hear an echo.
Is it me?
Someone speak.
So,
Me?
Words!
huh?
Like no one is
Oh.
lighting up, so other than
That's-
pizza that stays up. So
That's weird. Okay, it's gone now. So,
I mean, you all guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Weird.
I'm lighting up every once in a while.
Anyway, so yeah, I ask again, like, so where am I, and how did I get here? Do you happen to know that at least?
well, this planet is Turid, and weren't you a smith like a few days, like yesterday? And I summoned you here.
Well, no, as far as I understand, I've never been a smith. But
Well,
you
that's-
say you summoned me here, so that answers one question. Why did you summon me here?
I needed some help moving a rock. And then last I remember, I tasked you with just helping around with this here group of people.
And you summoned
And
a
then-
skeleton with no muscles to do this task?
Look, I don't know where I'm pulling from when I summon. Some of the times.
I see. Well, that only explains a few things.
So,
But
here's
I
the-
need to know where I'm at so that I can find out if I can get back to my other master.
don't know how well I would be able to describe where in space we are.
Well, I see this spaceship here. Does it have a log of where we've been?
I assume so.
And presumably a map so that we know where we're at.
Probably.
Then shall we board and find out?
So I'm probably finding it really weird that my summoned minion suddenly has this much personality. And I'm just going to be confused and be like, sure.
Excellent. So I begin walking to the ship.
And I will allow you.
What is Polina's reaction to having a new person coming aboard?
Intruder detected.
Is this voice like supposed to be female sounding? Because I know as
How dare you.
Pauline is female.
You will respect Fuse's accents.
First,
I'm asking for the character.
discover a mood. I think I know which one it's going to be.
What?
Yes,
So we've got
Paulina is-
confident, which unconsciously conceals being aggressive, friendly, or affectionate and hopeless.
First one.
Am I choosing this or?
It's
Make
usually
the
like a group vote.
Yeah, it's a group decision, and
Oh my
we
goodness,
decided on the
okay.
first one.
That wasn't the one I was expecting.
Well, my
It
vote
should
is
have been.
friendly.
I would have voted friendly, but that's because I just showed up.
So where are the votes so far?
Confident.
I like
so, yeah,
affectionate
2
and
for 1.
hopeless.
Yeah, 2 for 1, 2 for 2, 1 for 3.
I guess the DM can decide, but if there's a tie to
Alright, 3
break.
is no longer an option.
Okay.
Alright.
Break the
Friendly.
tie.
One or two.
Confident.
It's up to
Friendly.
Jazz to decide.
Yeah, I said friendly.
Well,
Welcome, new person.
Oh yes, madam. Thank you. So you are the on-board computer for this ship, I assume?
I am the ship.
Excellent. Where are we in space?
I don't actually have the thing open right now.
Well, this is more for the role play of him realizing that he's so far away that there's no possible chance of him getting back, and so he just accepts y'all as the new masters, as it were.
How big is space?
Currently,
Kinda
we
big.
are on planet Thurid of the Lato system, in sector. Wait. I lost it.
Sec-
In sector. Oh. 063ZM3.
063 ZM3? Wow.
Wrong
That's
term
quite a
now,
ways.
Purity.
Oh well. Since I've already been get this far, wait, what's the date?
Does that depend on what planet you're on?
Yeah,
It's
is
three.
there really a
Date.
concept of date in space?
Yeah,
The
it
date is 3.
I suppose that's an odd question to ask in space. But I'm assuming that general civilized. Well, I suppose that's not really something I can assume. I was going to assume that general civilized peoples have some form of way of telling like date and time, but I suppose
It
it's
is
not true.
currently the 3rd day of our week-long stay on this planet.
That's a good answer.
I'm trying to figure out a way that my character would be able to how long it's been gone. Or, like, not mentally present.
I mean, it would make sense for there to be, like, for the organized space to have a sort of way to time keep.
If anything, like...
I don't know what it would be, though.
Whatever.
It's just Earth time. Earth doesn't even exist, but it's Earth time.
Give me a D10,000, someone.
Got it. 10,000.
Huh. Okay.
Wow.
Small number.
Also give me a D30 and a D12.
Wait a minute. I just realized something. I just turned to Winnie and go, when did you summon me?
Yesterday.
So...
By the galactic calendar, it is currently the 20th day of the 12th month of year 92.
We're so close to Christmas again.
That'll be at the end of the week.
Oh, we don't need another Christmas special.
Well, I guess
No,
basically...
You see, the galactic calendar counts down. So Christmas was a little while ago.
And here's me without my Space Santa hat.
I guess that would make sense chronologically if this is the equivalent of January.
Oh no! Wait a minute. The galactic calendar counts down, and it's year 92.
Yeah, there are only 92 years left.
We're getting real close to the death of the...
I mean, it's more like the Mayan calendar, so like the end just means a new beginning.
Everyone's getting real excited to getting into minus
I can't
years.
believe you rolled a 92.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's counting down to the beckoning.
No, it's counting down to the barkening.
Yeah.
It's counting down to when they decided that the years wouldn't matter anymore.
The second Bork.
Yeah.
The good void works, and all
After
people
work.
are happy for a day.
The year where we need to let the good boy out, you know, for his walkie.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess I've been out for about a day and a half, I would assume.
Sounds like it.
Okay. Well, if my previous master has not been served for about a day and a half, he's most likely dead. He was kind of needy that way. So I guess I'm free now. But that's totally unacceptable. Who's the captain of this ship? I asked Winnie.
Question.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Winnie's answer is gonna
Everyone
be to
just
that.
looks at each other.
Oh yeah, you're back.
So-
Well, I'm not there though still, so... Hey.
So, I would have just stayed here in outside and let him just walk up to the ship.
Oh, so I guess it's the ship that's answering. Who's the captain?
So am I
This
the
is
only
debatable.
one in the room, or what? What room did I like? So far as I know, I've only met Winnie in the ship.
Strike will pop out of a vent. See that there is essentially a pile of bones there, and vibrate its mandibles. Is this food?
Strike, you're
Oh,
like
you need food?
5 rooms away.
Yeah, I'm in the vents. I'm everywhere. Deal with it.
So you ask, is this food?
Specifically, I ask if it is waste.
Oh.
Which is the same
Do you
thing for
need
Shrike.
waste?
This confuses Shrike.
I can provide waste.
This confuses Shrike greatly.
Winnie,
Strike,
have you
please.
need of this thing?
So I guess I'm gonna. Do I even need to roll to realize that he really wants waste?
The thing is, like, Stroik doesn't want waste. Stroik wants to get rid of waste, but also eats waste. So it's like, does Stroik want waste? Is an excellent question.
I am so glad I made this character.
What do you desire? What?
Yeah.
Man, learning about fun, now learning about want. Today's a hard day for Strike.
It is.
Well, either way, you can tell me if you wish that later. I have a question though. Who is the captain of the ship?
Asking all the hard questions. Do you want waste? Who's in charge here?
Are you asking Stroik this?
I'm asking Strike because the ship doesn't seem to be responding.
Stroik will pause, twitching their antenna, and say, instead of like giving a direct answer of yes or no, just kind of say who does what, as far as they understand.
Perfect. Then you can introduce me to all the characters.
Yeah.
Characters.
So, Stroik hasn't seen a lot of people doing a lot of things. So I'm trying to recall what exactly they've seen who do what.
Perfect.
Polaris
so
fixed the ship, right? At some point?
Yes.
Polaris installed the memory.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Stroik will introduce Polaris as the ship's maintainer, the maintenance of the ship itself. The man resting in this room and there down the hallway, he makes things explode.
I'm sorry,
I don't-
what makes things explode?
The white man resting in the room over there.
Okay. Am I able to see into the room? Or
No, he's just like, it's like down that hall, around that corner.
I see. Okay.
I don't think Shrike has seen Winnie do anything.
I've cooked once.
Yeah, so that is the ship's chef.
Who ruins waste?
Huh?
Who ruins waste by cooking it?
Yes.
I guess that's the only thing your character would know, or Schweik would know. Still trying to learn whose characters are whose.
The man dawdling about in that room over there, they paint. And the man passed out in the medical storage bay gets upset.
That's a shot.
Of these options, the man sleeping in the medical bay who gets upset sounds the most like a captain. Is he available to still?
I do not believe.
Well, I will let him sleep then.
A giant monster just in the room next to you.
Ultimately, you can tell your compatriots that I suppose, seeing as I have newly found freedom from my previous master, I am now in your service.
Is he saying this to the crew as a whole, or to Shrike?
Well, Shrike is the only one that's there, right? Or is the rest? Because the rest of the crews are in different rooms. It appears.
Yeah, Winnie's. Yeah, so I guess Shrike's the only one who's present on the ship, other than Babbler Sasha, who is an MAA.
Yeah.
Jazz is repainting the croissant.
I suppose I
Sasha
can just
Monster
introduce
is
myself on the
stuck
other-
in a T-pose.
Okay. So.
It's
that's
especially
why I said-
awkward because he can't fit inside of the ship while T-posing.
He's clipping.
There you go. Okay. Well.
Oh, and Shrike will introduce himself as the janitor.
Okay, perfect. It's like, oh, right. Well, it's not the clearest answer, but I can work with it. So, I suppose, yeah, I will go and begin talking to the rest of my masters. So, I'm
Have
just...
fun. Strick will say, have fun.
Oh,
I will.
that's cute.
Alright, so I guess I walk into this. Who's this? Oh, that's not a character. That's just an emblem, isn't it? How do I point out things on this D20?
You can either
You can like
click and hold.
click.
So what's this thing?
That's me.
That's right.
Oh, okay. So we've already been talking.
Many
Okay.
people have asked this.
Does he
Alright,
carry
so-
around the trash can with him?
No. It's more of a metaphor.
And out of curiosity, what is this thing?
That's the Babbler monster,
Is
aka
he-
No,
Babbler
that's-
Sasha currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing that you have to a captain.
To make a long story short, the Battler Monster and Sasha swap bodies, but Mayo isn't here today.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, do I see the Babbler monster in this room? Or do
You
we
can't
just
miss
wanna...
him.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't
His
miss
head
him,
is
but right
clipped
now
through the ceiling, and probably
not-
also his arms.
he is just not responsive.
So it's sleeping.
So it is a rigid torso with legs clipping into the ceiling.
I
mean-
look up at it and go, you might want to clean that up. Heroic.
This happens.
Hmm.
This kind of happens.
I have much to learn. So I've got to go over to the room to the left. And I look at Jazz and I go, greetings.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
You're
hello,
not familiar.
A skeleton walks to the room and says hi. Hi.
Yes, apparently I was summoned, and supposedly I was a smith, but apparently I had some sort of sickness after being summoned, so let me formally introduce myself. I am Alfred Humorous, butler of the Good Boy, and I've recently been freed from my previous master, who is most likely dead, billions and billions of light years away, and so now I'm here, and, well, I suppose I'm serving you now.
Alright. I'm Jazz. I paint things.
Yes, your friend, the bug over there, told me about you. So, or at the very least that you paint things. His descriptions of all of you were quite brief. Is he also new?
Yeah, kinda.
All right. Is there anything I can get you?
Would you say so?
I said, is there anything I can get you?
You can help me paint this croissant.
I do enjoy a good croissant. So I suppose, okay. So,
Yeah, just-
wait, actually, hang on. So, do I know? So, from what I remember of how Jazz looks, he's wearing that robe that has a bunch of like old god stuff on it. Is that correct?
It's not old god stuff, it's just...
Oh, just symbolism and whatnot.
Yeah.
Symbols. Okay,
It is magical.
it's magical, but it's just symbols. Okay, so nothing conflicting with the good boy. Okay.
No.
Okay. Cool. So yeah,
They haven't mentioned at all that they can use magic yet, even though they're like possibly the strongest magic user here.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I come up and I guess I begin continuing to paint the. I help paint the croissant.
I paint an extra, paint extra stuff to paint with. to give to the skeleton.
Very curious. You can summon things too, I see. Clearly, this is a group of powerful magicians.
I guess there are a couple.
Because so far I've only really know of Winnie, who summoned me to paint things into existence. And I haven't seen what Shrek does, but...
Summons waste.
Summons waste.
Banishes waste, more like.
Yeah, that's more accurate. Cool. So I begin painting, and it's like, do you mind if I have a little bit of artistic license with this? Or
Yeah.
rather, do you mind if I add an additional painting next to it?
Paint skeleton
Sure.
work or something.
Paint whatever.
Now it's time to Google a picture of a dog.
Alright, give me that craft roll.
Alright.
Craft Rackemonian teas.
You can paint wherever you want on this ship.
Okay, so I don't have craft, so mediocre skill.
Went a little bit less good than last time.
Oh, your roll makes a face.
Surprised face. Irradia face.
Cool, so it's not a very good... Okay.
It's a very not good picture.
Hang on, let me... It's this picture.
No, that's too good.
Oh, I have to get worse. Okay.
It's that picture, but like
You rolled a -2.
you drew a cat.
Yeah, it's not recognizable as a dog.
You drew that picture, but a cat.
Okay.
So what kind of role would that...
It was this picture, but without the details. No ear, no eye. There's no like mouth slit or nose, and the tail is just attached.
I got the perfect picture. And it's actually, when I Googled it, it's called Picture of a Cat. So, come on, computer, work with me here. This way? Sorry.
Also, you
This
should
is
probably
the
change
exact
your
image.
in-game name.
Oh, yeah.
That's more like
Picture of a
it.
cat. Have
Yep,
your
that's
artistic-
it.
You're gonna have your artistic license revoked.
I apologize.
It's okay. You'll get
I
better.
say to the good boy, not to Jazz.
Of
The good boy still appreciates the effort.
course.
The good boy appreciates all.
Looks like you could use some practice.
Perhaps it's creativity has not been my strong suit, unless it is in ways of serving others. So I've been told that there are more people on this ship. Where are they? I would like to introduce myself to them as well. Or maybe you can simply bring them here.
Oh yeah, they're where are they? Jazz gets up and just starts wandering through the ship because they haven't been paying attention to where people are.
Hey, it's our old friends at X.
Hmm?
The blue sphere represents a character from a player who doesn't have the time to join in anymore.
Oh, the robot character?
So that
Yeah.
character just got back in the box.
Okay.
It's because the token is still there.
Yeah, that was AOD, right?
Yep.
Yeah, haven't talked to that guy in eons. Oh well. Maybe someday. Alright.
Back in the year 1092.
Oh, hey, Mel.
Hey, Jazz, oh jeez, quick! This guy's hurt. And grab Alfred in my arm, and I'm gonna push/shove him to the medical bay.
I do not resist. Partially because I'm stunned, and partially because it would be a disservice to resist.
Polina, this guy doesn't have like anything.
It's a miracle he's still alive! Roll Discover a Mood.
Huh. Alright. Very pessimistic, frightened and sociable, or warm.
I like frightened and sociable.
Me too.
Me three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my, I will begin Skincraft immediately.
Alright. Don't worry, buddy. You're gonna be back right soon.
If I may intrude, I'm sorry. This is what I'm supposed to be.
It's okay.
In fact,
It's okay. You'll
no.
be okay.
Administering anesthetic.
Look at the sweet job she did with my leg. So you know,
Does anesthetic work on a skull?
Sir, I must request that you do not do this. You see,
A
the good
hole
boy
opens
has
up in the
freed me
wall
from my
that
fleshly prison.
sprays a bunch of like weird goop over you.
Please, I try to swat it away. I'm like, please.
No, hold still. It's okay. You're gonna be
No,
fine.
It is
But you
not
gotta-
okay.
You gotta stay calm though, so just shh.
Is Milt getting a fate point back for this?
I mean, can I get a fake
what
point for
Does Milk
letting
have?
this happen?
Just for role playing.
Like, I'm telling you, I cannot do this. I have been freed from my fleshy prison. The good boy has done so. I do not wish to return.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Eyes
consider
narrow.
this a compel against Alfred for being a skeleton.
I think so. Like, I'm compelling myself, I guess. So does that mean I get a fate point? Because I'm actively trying not to do what's being asked of me for religious reasons, I suppose.
I mean, as a response to what you said, I'll just narrow my eyes and just, who's this good boy and why did
Beginning
he do
surgery.
this
Could you please stop, computer? Please stop.
to you? This man has clearly been driven insane by his skinlessness. So don't
What?
listen to him.
Alright, so based on that roll. Alright, Paulina is going to pull out some skin samples from the bio storage and start stapling them to Alfred.
Just straight onto his bones?
So far, you've had an anesthetic, a spray of goop.
Yeah,
skin steak.
the goop was the anesthetic.
Okay. So now you got them numb bones.
Jazz is confused why people are reacting to this new
Sir.
person like this.
I basically
Staple.
So I turn to Jazz. I say, "Sir, could you please stop
Do
this
not worry,
madness?
sir. You will be fixed in no time.
I am not needing to be fixed. I am fine."
Listen to the computer. It's gonna be okay.
I'm pretty sure he's just like a construct or something. Don't worry about it. It's supposed to look like that.
Yes.
Please.
In fact, I'm a
He is
cyborg.
clearly insane, administering therapy.
Camera comes out of the wall.
I am actually, to be honest,
The walls start
this is the
blasting
first time-
classical music.
I appreciate
Let me
this
go get the
music, but I do
Beethoven.
not want this.
I think you're gonna need to be a bit more forceful.
I guess so. Let me see. How would my character be forceful in this situation? Because he wants. Okay, I'm gonna have to be. You know what? I'm gonna have to roll. When I roll a rapport to try to remind them that there's already been a skeleton in their party, or that skeleton that was summoned.
Just roll a report to, like, talk them down from, like, unstripping you.
Can you turn on the music? It's kind of loud compared to everybody else.
You can slide yours personally.
Oh,
Yeah, in
Might as well
the
hurry.
gear, you
Yeah.
can turn it down.
Yeah,
I
no one
think-
on. No one on the
where,
ship.
where is the thing to control the music?
It
In the
is
gear.
okay. In roll 20,
Top
right
right.
side of the screen, top part of that bar,
There's
there's 5 symbols. The rightmost one is a gear. Click that.
Got it.
And there's master music volume level.
Well, someone worked IT or some kind of service job.
No.
No, really. 'Cause that's like exactly the way you're supposed to go.
Yeah. Look for the gear.
Yeah, the master music volume, you just put it at not max.
Okay, got it. All right, cool. What happened? What were we doing? Oh, that's right. I was trying to keep grafting skin to.
You're trying not to become a real boy.
Yes.
Hey, Jazz
Also,
is
I'd
not
like-
like
So
physically
yes,
intervene.
so I begin trying to remind them. Okay, you know the skeleton that was summoned by your friend the werewolf.
Already know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have no werewolf friends.
Aw.
The wolf lady. Do you
Jazz is going to just try picking up Alfred and taking him away.
But like, I'm gonna be physically in the way,
Yeah.
though.
Skin grafting process
Well-
is not complete.
It doesn't need to complete. I've been freed,
Yeah, stop that.
and now I'm
You can
freed
hurt
again.
him, Paulina says, continuing to staple skin onto his bones.
In actuality, this is actually much more painful than.
Administrating. And more anesthetic.
It's not going to work. I am literally bones. Bones grafted together by nanobots. Could you please stop this?
I'm just gonna physically pull Alfred away.
Well, I'm
Like-
like pushing him
Okay.
down on the table, though.
Okay, I'll pull Milk away.
Alright, Jez, can you give me an athletics roll?
Athletics? Okay.
This is the best.
Alright, as you're reaching in there, you get a skin sample stapled onto your arm.
Ow. That doesn't
Is it
go
like-
there.
One staple in the middle of the skin sample, or is it like
Oh no, are you okay?
Wait,
Please
who
do
you
not try to
talking
interfere with this process.
it's delicate?
about? No, interfere
Yeah,
as
like
much as you
rough.
possibly can.
That's the wrong skin. That's not my skin.
Classic board game of not my skin.
All right. You leave me no choice. Hang on, I'm trying to think of what exactly would be done here.
Leave me no choice. Sits there.
Leave me no choice. I do nothing. No.
You leave me no choice to agree with your point of view.
Okay.
Turn Paulina into a dog.
This is like the least. It's like the last thing I thought was going to happen. So like, I'm trying to figure out.
Welcome
what-
to this game.
I mean, I suppose I shouldn't have expected anything less.
Hey,
So-
last session before last, there's like he's like, yeah, it turns out there's this giant like entire section of space that has been intentionally blotted out, so you were not supposed to see it, but now you see it now, and you see it's there, and you know it's there, and everyone's like, cool. So on this planet.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna invoke Word of the Good Boy and say, how dare you try to graft that to me? It is not skin, it's peanut butter.
What?
All right. Roll magic.
All right.
Three.
All right. Your bone, like you now have peanut butter stapled to your bones.
Somebody quote that. Don't let him know it's about this skeleton character, please.
And these arms that you are holding me with.
Your player said what?
You now have peanut butter.
Roll magic.
stapled to your
You now have peanut butter stapled to your bones.
As classical music flashed in the background. The computer performs surgery. Roll magic. You now have peanut butter stapled to your bones.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
Yeah, that's the.
Well, that's not anyone's skin.
Okay.
That's what we were trying to prevent.
Polina, it's way worse than I could even imagine.
No, and
The
it's about
skin
to get
is
a lot
rotting.
worse.
It's like some kind of rot beast.
Why is Milk and Paulina some improv duo assaulting the skeleton man?
I slowly shift into a fighting stance.
Anything we
when
place
you're
upon
ready to
this
fight.
thing just rots away.
I'm not running its peanut butter. Do you not see? I merely don't want to get flesh on me.
Look,
Right?
if you
No,
promise
you
not
look.
to harm anyone, I will not banish you back to the world of the undead.
First, I would like the answer. When I ever said I was going to harm one
It's implied.
in
That's racist. Oh, I see a skeleton. I just assume they're gonna hurt me.
Oh yeah, Milk. Were you going to respond to when he said he was summoned by werewolf person?
Okay. I'm going to play that out as if at the time I wasn't really listening because of all the chaos that was going on and the music and all that.
Sure.
But yeah, and then I can just kind of reflect on the fact that he said that, and then I can just take a pause like, okay, why did, when he sent you inside?
She didn't, actually. I just came to consciousness.
Preliminary
Didn't
scans
realize that I
confirm
was-
that this material is peanut butter.
Thank you.
So you're,
Peanut butter
wait, so you're when he summoned the peanut butter skeleton, alright, so just something weirder.
How many people have you killed?
But
So
normally
far,
she
none.
just summons stuff to like completely destroy a planet's ecosystem. Like why? Normally they don't speak.
Well, okay. So, this is what I've gathered just from the 30 minutes or so I've been conscious, through which many unexpected things have happened. But from what I can tell, the werewolf lady summoned me away from my previous master, who is now probably dead, to here to serve as some sort of smith, but I was not in my proper mind then, and now I am, and I've introduced myself to her. Well, actually, I suppose I didn't do that formally, but I've introduced myself to your friend Jazz here, and here we are, I suppose. But I do not know why the werewolf actually summoned me.
I mean, she kind of summons things all the time for all kinds of reasons, but I don't know. They don't become smart. Like, I've never seen anyone like talk or anything.
Is Paulina still holding me, like in position for the skin grafting?
Yes.
But I would have let go by now, though, and I would gesture, not just body language, Paulina, to let go.
Like, she's just holding you down. There's still a staple gun with a skin sample attached, but she isn't.
But the skin sample is peanut butter. But,
no, like, she got another one.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
one stapled to you is peanut butter. There is still peanut butter stapled to your bones.
Why do you need staples if you have peanut butter?
Because they didn't have peanut butter.
Yeah, we didn't have peanut butter.
Because they didn't have jelly. Haven't you ever had a peanut butter sandwich? Anyway, computer, because I still haven't learned that her name is yet. Computer, could you please unhand me? I think we have resolved the situation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you
Paulina.
sure?
No, go ahead.
You're not going to be hurt?
You're
not going to hurt anyone?
I'm not going to hurt anyone. I am not hurt outside.
Because I do
of the
not want to
staples.
see anybody hurt. You're sure that you're okay? Is everyone here okay?
I mean,
I am splendid.
Do you need more music?
I'm good with.
you know what? Yes.
I did enjoy the music. It was just that the situation did not really call for it. Thank you.
I mean, Paulina, if you can fix my actual complete leg, I wouldn't say no.
Yes, use the skin grafting for that.
Nah,
Right
we
now,
did
though,
what we could.
I would like to have free use of my limbs, full function of my ability to move. Please.
I mean, while he's dealing with the computer, I'm gonna just saunter outside. I'm gonna try to get.
Paulina,
Winnie.
let's go.
Thank you. I dust off myself and try to get the peanut butter off me.
'Cause I'm gonna ask Winnie, what up with that? Hop.
Right, I will
What about
be
it?
right back.
Won't you? Won't you?
There better be a dog involved.
No.
Well, that was an episode.
Dude, that's basically all on roleplay games, where it's way more characters being trouble to characters than anything.
Yeah.
That is very fun, though. It's one of the reasons why I like role-playing systems like this.
Yeah.
That's not true. There's one game where it's not like that, and it's the one game I'm not a player in.
Yeah, I think I overheard that one in one of the sessions. So, it's the Pokemon one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we don't really accomplish much in Pokemon.
Yeah.
What sidetracks you in Pokemon?
A lot of things.
The fact that there's no central track.
That would help. Do you play like a trainer or a Pokemon in Pokemon?
We play as trainers who catch and teach their Pokemon.
Okay.
So
And the
basically,
Pokemon aren't supposed to be controlled by us. It's like the GM is a catalyst for us talking to the Pokemon, you know?
Okay.
We choose what they do, or we choose what our trainers tell our Pokemon to do.
But the GM decides what the Pokemon actually do.
There's a
Depends on
there's
their
a
disobedience.
Yeah, there's a disobedience thing that goes on.
That's funny.
Interesting. I'll have to listen to some of the recordings on that one. That sounds kind of fun. Is that also fate based or?
It's a whole different system just for that.
Yeah. Oh, wow, okay.
You can even join if you want. If you have
I don't
Fridays.
feel like I don't think I have enough time for a whole other thing.
It's
It's like
Friday
I-
afternoons too, which is
Did it happen this last Friday?
It's every Friday.
Every Friday. Oh, then it wouldn't work out. I have another Fate game that I play in real life on Friday nights.
like just Friday in like any weekday in general. It's kind of rough.
Yeah. I mean, mine is every other Friday, but yeah. Or at least Friday evening, so. Unless for some strange shenanigans with time zones it works out. I don't think I'll be joining another thing.
Hey Winnie,
Yes.
your peanut butter skeleton wandered off into the ship. I figured I should tell you.
Peanut butter, what?
Yeah,
Not
he's-
peanut butter skeleton. I believe your friend is mistaken.
well, I'm outside, so
Yeah.
Oh.
New setting.
Would my character have followed?
like I just
Probably.
left
You know what?
while you were getting off of the table.
Okay, but I would have tried to run after you because I still need answers. So, can I just say that I'm there too?
Sure.
You can even move yourself there.
I am moved.
Yeah, token placement is important apparently.
Yep.
It's not something I really paid attention to, but it's. I mean, even if you're there, what I said would not have changed.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
Alfred take the time to remove the peanut butter?
I've wiped it off using my dog branded what do you call those things?
Handkerchief?
Handkerchief, yes.
I like to think it's not dog branded. It's dog brand.
Dog brand things. Actually, I have a picture of it in my thing. You know what? While we have some time, I'm gonna try to export that PNG so that I can give you guys a visual on like.
Anyways, yeah, I'd say, oh yeah, that was the skeleton I summoned.
Yeah, so like normally they like don't speak and stuff. Like, what up with that?
I have no idea.
That's my Winnie.
I'm gonna
Give
blame
you a playful
Fuse.
noogie.
Come on, I'm in front of these people here, trying to give a magic demonstration.
That doesn't stop me.
Yeah.
All right, well,
What are you showing him?
now that this incident has been solved, I'll go back to my room.
You're not gonna question all the lakes that's suddenly here?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
I've solved the problem. You don't
Milk goes
know.
many miles north until he eventually wraps around and gets back to the ship to the south.
So I, as Milk is leaving, I will instinctively ask him, "Is there anything I can get you?"
I feel like he would answer yes, but I can't think of what. Which is a weird position to be in.
Just answer yes and don't clarify.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll just go. Yeah, you could. It's like,
Actually, if you would give me a moment, I would like to formally introduce myself because that whole situation back there was not very conducive for such a thing. And I, as the good boy forgives, I forgive as well. I am.
who's the good boy?
I
don't
am
get it.
Alfred dang it, I forgot his name. Alfred Harris. And I'm the butler of the good boy in the center of the universe. And I am here to serve.
I would say I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, I just kind of like shrug and shake my head to Winnie behind his back, like, what?
There, I suppose his presence might not be known to y'all, but there is a good boy, a very good dog in the center of the universe.
Yeah, give me a lore roll.
Everyone?
A laurel?
Milk and Winnie.
All right.
A laurel?
Gonna roll some lore. I know more than I was expecting.
Winnie has heard of the good boy. Milk, you know all about the good boy.
Oh, the good. Now I get it.
Ah, so he is known to you.
See, I was hearing the good boy, but you mean the good boy.
Yes, the good boy. Not just any good boy, the good boy.
Yeah, that dog.
Yes, I serve him. And in my service of him, I will serve others. And that is my mission, to serve you. Speaking of which, I am now freed from my previous master, who is probably dead by now because I've been gone for about a day and a half. So now I am the servants of y'all.
Man, that's all it took to get rid of the good boy, huh? A day without attention.
No. You don't understand. I serve the good boy, but I serve others in service of the good boy. My other master, dang it, now I have to come up with who the master was. My other master was an emperor in a far-off world, and well, he was very, very needy and was sick when I was suddenly plopped in this region of space. So I do not know what's become of him, but I have no way of getting back, and I'm certain he's already been killed by his enemies. So he is
Emperor.
dead. The good boy is eternal, though.
What was his name?
His
What was
name
the emperor of?
If you must know, it was Zachlor, emperor of the planet Darklock. And like I said, he was rather needy and not very liked by his people, but I served him nonetheless. But
Do I know about any of this? I'm just curious. No. Okay.
when I say he's afar off, I am speaking of hundreds of light years away.
I'm just thinking to myself, that sounds made up. And I just keep an eye on him as I go back, so I don't keep an eye on him very long.
Rauka, you're not supposed to metagame.
I like that Milk is just like, I don't personally know that it's true. Therefore, instinctual doubt. Instinctual, like, you're probably lying to me right now.
If it was something that was actually important, I wouldn't know about it.
Can I roll to find out if he's
Probably
actually...
help if I actually gave you your magic.
Can I roll to find out if he's, like, not believing me?
Empathy.
All right.
Yeah, that would be empathy.
Wow.
Not great.
Literally the worst I can roll on empathy.
I could roll one worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, that would be defended with Deceive.
Is it deceiving,
if you care
though?
to.
But it's not really deceiving.
Yeah,
If
you
you
just...
care.
I just
If you're
don't know.
actively hiding the fact that you don't believe him.
Alright.
I don't know if Milk is, though.
Yeah.
You said you're
roll
keeping
because
hence the
your
if.
eyes on him.
But
The question isn't whether or not he can hide it, but whether or not I can figure out if he doesn't believe. Which actually, I suppose, might be even self-evident, so maybe I shouldn't even need to roll.
You can't read
Yeah.
them.
Like, Is he saying I don't believe you, or is he being like, oh yeah, that guy? Yeah.
But yeah, like Milton wouldn't do that.
hmm
So what do we do with this situation?
I had a question for Fuse. I don't know if or when you wanted to declare this, but is like that United Nations of Space Agency and Old Gods and the Good Boy, are they in direct opposition of each other in any way?
Who knows?
My thought with that, actually, because I'm sort of having to create the lore of the Good Boy in creating my character, was
Everybody
that
loves the good boy.
pretty much everybody loves the Good Boy, although certain dark magics are things that the Good Boy is not very fond of because the Good Boy is good. So it's like things that powers that are inherently evil or seek to cause evil or woe for others. It's
Or
like
anything that makes a loud noise.
Yeah, sure, why not?
So it's not Strike Skull, definitely. But I'd like to see at some point somebody's character goal is to go to the center of the universe to tell the good boy he's a bad boy.
That's going to happen in 92 years.
Yeah. See, that's really difficult to do because once you gaze upon, you're forced to adore him, just like with any cute puppy.
Oh, it's
92 years from now, the second Borkening is going to refresh the universe to counteract entropy.
How
What
much
a good
refresh
boy.
does the universe have?
Once every 10,000 years.
yeah. How many cycles of heat, death, and entropy have we been through?
Give me a D100. Go ahead and roll
All
a
right.
9.
I mean, I haven't been through any.
Why not? Why not?
Roll a 1. 1%. Okay.
36.
We had 36% dead.
Wow, the dog is 36 years old. It's a pretty old dog.
We can count this by the rings on the inside of the universe.
It's not years.
Well, yeah, it's not years. It's
New
Every
Chaos.
Bork adds another D10,000.
oh, I see.
Deca millenniums.
The Bork, that's why the good boy is eternal.
Mhm.
He resets the universe every 10,000 years.
It's not a reset, it's a refresh.
Refresh.
But, like-
Okay, there you go.
It just adds some more matter and energy.
Oh, you're saying they just poops?
I like to think that this is all only to our perspective. To the dog, he's going bark, 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 bark.
He is barking. You know what? He's literally barking away entropy.
He's scaring off entropy. What a
There
good
you
boy.
go. Perfect. And I mean, I don't know about you, but old gods kind of sound like they would be agents of entropy. So
Maybe.
I don't know.
Although it's
I
not
mean, whenever you have somebody who's a vizier of God, who is literally trying to cause chaos, like, I don't know, that sounds kind of like entropy to me.
the universe will still be here.
True.
It'll be more chaotic. Yeah, I don't think like old gods are specifically good or bad, being like gods. They just do what they do.
I mean, it implies there's a lot of them who probably all have different ideas of what they.
So
Yeah.
there's probably some of them that the
The
good
good boy is
doesn't like.
technically an old god.
I guess
Everybody just kind of forgets that.
I feel
See,
that at some point the good boy ascended godhood.
The followers of the good boy, probably will say like the good boy is eternal. Like they
forgot to
will
put the
believe that
music
he's
back.
not just an old god. In fact, probably
He's
the
God
exact-
plus.
the exact phrase is that there may be other gods. Well, there may be gods, but the good boy is not a god. He's a good boy. Like that good boy is somehow above God status to the believers in the
Let me ask you this:
There may be gods, but there's also a dog.
There you go. Something
Has Alfred himself ever gazed upon the good boy?
Wasn't that his
I would
job?
probably say yes, actually. Like he served somebody who was an explorer, and they happened upon the. And that's how he was freed from his fleshly prison.
So anyway,
the theology of this universe is quite weird.
Very.
their culture is so beautiful.
Yes. So.
Probably not a good idea to gaze upon the old gods.
With these things like the old gods and the good boy and fun. All of these nebulous, unreachable concepts.
Also, yeah.
Anyway, I forgot where we were at in the actual.
You were coming to me, and then I forget.
I was explaining the good boy, right?
Milk didn't believe you, and you couldn't tell.
Okay, cool. We'll go with that. What now?
You did it. Campaign over.
Alright, so for the next campaign...
Well,
Progress made. We got a peanut butter skeleton.
we should leave this planet eventually.
3 days pass now.
Okay, so actually, now that I'm able to talk to Milk, I'm gonna ask. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I actually have a question. So clearly, y'all guys are Voyagers. You are in a spaceship. What is your job? What are you doing here?
Are you asking before I leave?
Oh, you've already left?
Well, I mean,
I would have if I were to ask.
Okay, yeah, that's what. So because I feel like everyone in the team, I'm the one that actually most aware. Basically, we're tasked into visiting all of the fringe planets and just sit around and make reports.
Super boring.
Yeah, we're kind of bad at that last part, but
I don't know if Sasha even remembers the actual job that you were given.
That's what Milk understands, and so is what is Milk canon. That's just what we're supposed to do. We just find a planet. They're people. Normally, sometimes they have a problem. We try to help them out. That's not strictly our job, but we try to be good people, and as of now, our success has been pretty good.
So you are Voyagers that are here to both gather information and also save their people from various perils or.
I mean, the latter is not strictly part of our job. It just happens.
Huh.
Like the actual job that has telephoned into this. It's like you were sent out here to gather information on any new mythological creatures that have popped up on these planets.
It got filtered down a little bit.
Filtered down to start. Okay.
Hey,
Well,
you're
that's what my character has been told, so that's what I'm going to assume the prime directive is.
Yeah.
You're a new mythological creature on this planet.
But we don't know to document it.
You could document me if you wish. You may interview me about the good boy if you need to know more about him.
I mean, if you want to hang out, I have no problems with that. We're probably going to have to forge you a new role for the ship, though, but we did it with Strike, so that won't be a problem.
Well, that's actually, I would like to put forward a suggestion for that, because I am a butler. I am here to serve, so I can actually I could because the good boy is so good, I can summon things. And I can summon pretty much anything you want, provided it is in the will of the good boy.
Can you summon me, like, a fixed my leg problem?
You want me to summon you a new leg?
Well, I mean, look, like, part of it is metal, and the rest is trying to physically escape me right now.
Yeah, his foot has been flailing around this entire time.
Okay, so I need to figure out whether or not, like, an actual physical leg that I can definitely, like, get a prosthetic leg, like summon that. Would I be able to summon, like, an actual, like, what do you call it? Like an organic leg, replacement leg for him that he can be grafted on and function as an actual leg?
One way to find out.
Okay. Well, let me try. Well, in that case, let me give that a shot. Well, roll magic.
Wow.
Alright, and did you want to invoke anything?
Yeah. I'm going to invoke. Well, is that already invoking Word of the Good Boy?
No.
Or do I invoke that extra? Okay, then I'm gonna invoke Word of the Good Boy, because a leg contains a bone, and dogs like bones.
Because, like, that's a stunt, isn't it?
Oh, that's a stunt. My bad. Well, I can still say Butler of the Good Boy.
Dogs do like legs.
That
Chicken
is
legs,
true.
Turkey legs.
Controversial statement.
Alright, I can accept that. Anything more?
Remember to spend your money.
Yeah, I'll spend it.
You click on a coin, then you drag it out of the square.
Oh, okay. Is that for spending? Oh, that's for spending the refresh, the fate points, right?
No, that's right.
Okay. I actually only have 2 of these because no, I have 3. Okay, so yeah, I'll spend that, and I'll go ahead and use a stunt, Word of the Good Boy, because I don't think I can argue, unless I can argue that Mr. Bones the cyborg, or I could invoke Serve Hard.
Serve hard
Wanna make
too. Serve harder.
You want to make a good impression as your first serving request.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, can I invoke Serve Hard too? Serve Harder? Okay. And
Hey, you
I'd have to
serve
spend-
harder.
all right. So that's a +4 to the 4. So it's now an 8,
Yes.
which I
So
think
you
is the
make
max,
a
right?
legendary new leg.
I mean, we've had a roll of 20-something in the past. You probably saw it.
That
Oh,
was a
yeah.
group effort, though.
Yeah.
I'm also not sure.
So
Like,
it's legendary, but it's just legendary. It's barely legendary.
No. It's legendary.
Oof. Oof.
so yeah,
Alright,
You don't try,
Sroy,
I'm sure she-
you explode.
Mark of a good
You are the new
role
leg.
play.
All right. So I hand the leg to
Yeah, you just summon Milk's leg.
I summon Milk's leg, and I go. I believe this will be serviceable enough. If you will follow me to the med bay, then I'm sure we can get this crafted to you.
I will.
Did you make sure that it was the right leg?
It was in fact the wrong leg. No, I'm kidding. No,
It's
it
a
was
middle leg.
legendary, so I'm assuming it's the correct leg.
1d2.
No,
I feel with an
no.
8, it would be the correct one.
It's an ambidextrous leg.
Use it as a
Big.
left or right.
It's got 2 big toes.
It is the world's only organic peg leg.
Oh man, for
You
the
can't
second
tell
time.
which one it is because it's just got a boot permanently attached.
It's For the second time, this metal rod's gonna be ripped out of Alex' body.
Third
I'm getting
time.
used to it.
No, it's like it's been shoved in, it's been yanked out. It's been shoved in, it's gonna be yanked out again.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, at least this time it'll be replaced by an actual leg that is meant to be used as a leg.
Also important, your moderate is recovered by now.
Oh, that's right. It's just gone, right?
Yeah.
Just gone.
Now you're less likely to die.
Yeah.
You never got your mild healed.
I guess by now it would, right? Naturally. Because it's by scene change, I think.
But you didn't roll anything to get it to be healed.
That's true. I guess we can do that at the same time. Also, this will take care of my severe because it's going to be literally removed.
Well,
Does
there
that
would
mean-
still be a hole there. Speaking
Fair.
of, go ahead and give me a physique roll to pull a large metal rod out of your leg again.
Oh, I get to do it myself? Alright.
Well, wouldn't Paulina do it?
No, minus. Plus.
Whichever one you
Um,
want. Either way, it's physique.
I'm gonna go with...
And I'm going to just say that you're resisting 6.
Alright. Yeah, so,
You could get help from Jazz and Alfred.
yeah, anyone want to
Probably
help?
Strike.
Yeah, Jazz will help.
Strike has good physique. Oh,
I can
that's
help as well,
resisting.
I guess.
Paulina helps.
I am here to serve.
If you request Strike's help, Strike will assist.
I don't think I'd ask to verbally request it as a thing, so I guess it's not gonna happen, which
Yep.
is fair.
In which case, Mike,
Does Alfred
I
have
probably won't be there.
physique?
Well, I mean, if he doesn't ask for it, he's going to assume that he would assume that the computer would do it, so he would be entirely surprised if Milk tried to do it himself.
I'm using a fate point anyways, because that is a garbage roll. Yo.
Yeah, like
You can-
Strike has plus force physique.
Peace and balance and all
Jazz
things.
also has
so
+4 physique.
I can stay calm while I give this another shot.
So who else is helping?
Well,
Milk, the thing, and one from Paulina.
No, you know what? Strike would be in the room because the scene prior had shit being sprayed all over. So
That's fair.
if
Alright, so Sroik is just slurping down a mixture of peanut butter and anesthetic,
Mhm.
and passes out again.
anesthetic wouldn't make you pass out, would it? It's more
If
of
you're
a,
going
or is
to
it-
just chug it down off the floor.
isn't it a numbing agent?
No, anesthetic in higher doses literally knocks you out,
Okay. Yeah, sure.
or gets you high, either way.
Do I get a fate point for that?
Does Troy get high?
He is able to fly. But
Yay! Yeah, Frank. Strike does fly.
Frank!
Strike, surname
Frank the Bug Man!
Strike. Alright, I'm building up those fate points. Can't wait to be in a situation where I get to use them all. Get a +8 to a roll.
So yeah, like I'm at what now? 8 to pulling this off.
So, am I noticing now that he's attempting to pull himself?
I mean, I'm not being subtle about it.
Alright,
little
fellas, time for
gabbing.
me to rip this right out of my leg.
I go, hold on a minute, sir. There's a perfectly good computer here that can help you do this, probably without so much pain.
I would have wrenched it at about the time where you got to computer.
Okay.
Alright, I have confirmed mild consequence must make a recovery action for.
Dang it.
There's no period of time before it starts healing naturally.
For mile. Alright. Well, we'll take care of that after this then. I'm just gonna do it now.
Alright, so did you use the fate point for re-rolling then?
Yes, that's what I did.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, it worked. You just kind of casually pull it out.
Make a little-
It's like flailing in your hand.
You got a lexical.
Yeah, I was about to ask Stroik to maybe get rid of this, but I see he's passed out, so I'll just toss it on the floor.
It hops away.
I look away and am both stunned and slightly grossed out.
There's now an animated foot with a large spike coming out of it, hopping around in the inside of the ship.
Isn't it hostile to milk?
We'll have to see if it shows up again.
Alright, Paulina, fix me up.
Wasn't Polina the one that shoved it back in?
Time
Spike.
to discover a mood.
Yes.
So I have a question, actually. How does inventory work in this?
It doesn't.
I see.
You
If you need something for a skill, you have it.
Okay. My question would be, would it be possible for me to pocket the leg?
No,
Okay, I didn't think so.
it's too
That's fine.
big.
Okay.
Also,
So-
you're a skeleton.
So is Paulina dependent, but many mistake it for being social? Humble on the surface, but uninspired underneath? Or vaguely contented?
I say humble.
The first one?
I feel like uninspired is good for a medical thing. Because, like, you don't want to be inspired, like, creative.
You've convinced me. I'm changing my vote.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm uninspired. I'm just going to attach it. Whatever. It's like, yes, please. Thank you.
I vote for that as well.
Uninspired implies that it's rot, so it'll go well, because there's nothing unusual.
Alright, beginning surgery.
It's humble
Paulina
on the
takes
surface.
you and your leg, sticks them together, pulls out like a little solder. It's gonna solder your leg on.
Because last time the mood was something, but creative underneath. And you got that. It's like, yes, my masterpiece.
I don't know what Computer 5 means.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because the first thing is that an extreme consequence doesn't heal.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing is that 5 is less than 8.
Mm-hmm.
Would
I forget, does Paulina get fate points?
No.
Oh.
I'm putting a picture of Humorous in the Discord.
Although we didn't heal it, but we fixed the extreme, so to say.
I mean, assuming nothing else happens here, I feel like this kind of fits in with the fact that we're on the cusp of ending this particular arc. which is when it would start to heal, kind of, an extreme.
Like, it never fully heals. Because in most games, you can't just fix having a missing leg.
Right.
But here, we have that luxury.
Foreign
We have
body.
that luxury.
Maybe we should make some rules for this.
Because the rules
Yeah.
cannot support it, milk just blimps out of existence.
Yep, sorry. Try again.
Logic error.
Milk not found.
Well, either way, this isn't going to fully work.
It's on backwards. Successful leg transplant, but it's on backwards.
Because this needs to be a legendary result.
Right.
Try a failure, try again.
This is
Like-
really superb.
There's no way to get it to 8 with just Alina's computer.
Could it just be she keeps
Yeah.
trying until she gets 8, and
Oh,
every
wait, yes,
time it
plus 4,
fails, she gets milk
It is
takes stun?
exactly possible.
I thought it was, is it +3?
What was the what did we vote for the what do you call it? Her mood?
Humble on the surface, uninspired underneath.
Oh, okay. Well, can't invoke
So-
that to make us better.
Humble could be seen as like not super proud of the work, possibly wanting to do it again to do it better.
Yeah, but uninspired.
That's true.
So,
Yeah, uninspired.
not wanting to do it again.
Well, she
that
does it
wasn't
poorly
great.
because she
Like,
was
oh, that didn't
inspired.
work. Oh well, I guess it just doesn't work.
I mean, either like it can just be that the leg is there, but like doesn't function.
It's more or less a peg leg.
Yeah, like, it's not working. It's just
It
a
won't
leg.
rot.
I mean, at
Is
least
it
I
dash
look
but limp?
like like myself again. I just need to. This is just,
Alright, so we get to update that banner again.
Y'all remember how it wanted me to go plan with the zombies? I just need to get zombified, and hopefully it'll bring it back to life. Thank you for trying your best, Polina.
So when Alfred made the leg, did it come with its own blood in it? Just curious.
Probably not. Well, it had the veins for the blood. Whatever would have best served the whole process of transferring the leg over, like grafting the leg. I'm honestly not sure which would be better, to have its own blood or just have a bunch of empty veins and whatnot. Probably empty veins would be best, because then it could be his own blood. Unless I could make the argument that I rolled well enough to have like his actual blood in it.
Yeah, it's his leg.
Okay, it's his leg, so it has his blood in it. Okay. Yeah, so
It is an exact duplicate of his leg,
perfect.
as it was before the accident.
Okay. Then yeah, it does have blood.
But the nerves just aren't connected properly. Which, happens when you just solder it on.
Well, Jazz could try magic to fix that.
Yeah.
Jazz, paint nerve cells on his leg.
You could attempt that.
That feels like a bad idea,
When
I
does
don't
that ever
think-
stop you guys?
though. Milk is starting to kind of. nerves on the exterior just doesn't seem very useful.
And put armor around it.
Just gonna have some sweet external nerve endings constantly exposed to air.
Put some pants on.
No, he'll paint the nerve endings and then paint skin over it.
Okay, so as of now, you just have a limp leg, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, since I'm seeing this, I'll probably be like,
Plus a magic
here's the
foot
map.
somewhere in the ship.
Okay. I'm not entirely. It appears that the procedure didn't go properly, so I can't tell if this is better or worse than what you had.
I mean,
Well, it's not trying to kill him.
yeah, and
He also
I
can't walk.
don't look like an idiot, but yeah, I can't walk.
All right. Well, in that case, let me see if I can do something that'll at least help out for now. And I attempt to summon a robotic exoskeleton leg,
Huh.
so that it can go around his new leg. So I guess I'll roll magic.
Yeah.
And that's not including the +2.
Yeah.
So it's 7.
+2? Oh, for...
And I'm assuming this isn't nearly as hard as literally summoning someone's specific leg.
Alright, what were you trying to do? I was reading the recovery chapter.
Oh, I'm trying to summon a robotic exoskeleton leg. That way, it can still move like a leg, but he puts on the exoskeleton around his regular leg.
So it's like a future leg brace.
Essentially, yes.
Alright, what's the +2 from?
The +2. Actually, wait. What is the +2 from?
I think you're getting mixed up with Jazz, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Now, didn't you have a stunt? It's like when you do magic specifically to summon something to help someone, you get a +2 to it.
No. I opted instead to make it not cost a magic point.
Oh, okay.
Which now I might change that sometime, but yeah. So I rolled a 5.
You want to invoke anything?
I would spend another. I would spend my last fate point doing this. So, but I also want to serve.
Serve is an extremely powerful attribute because I can't see any occasion where you wouldn't be able to use it unless you're on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't help
Minor
myself
cost
with
that. It's compelled.
That's true.
So can
Period.
can I literally just like gain a fate point for using serve hard and
No.
then use the fate points?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. See, I'm not entirely sure how this particular thing can be invoked in a way that gets me a fate point without also having to use a fate point in order to properly.
It needs to put you in trouble for it to give you a thing.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, then I guess I'll use my last fate point and I don't know. I'm thinking 5 might be enough to do it because again, I had to roll. I rolled an 8 right from the last one to summon somebody's specific leg, and this is just like a robotic exoskeleton. So I'm assuming 5 will do it, or at least provide something that will allow his leg to move reasonably well. So I'm gonna stick with the 5.
Alright, you get a robotic exoskeleton for your leg. While it is on, you can move properly, but it occasionally locks up.
Okay.
All right.
computer in place of athletic.
Do I put
So add that
into
into your your aspect for the lag.
Alright. Okay.
So you now have a reattached leg with robotic exoskeleton that occasionally locks up.
You technically have 3 legs now.
That aspect has changed so much.
Yep.
But as of right now, you do not, at any point in your body, have a sharpened metal pole shoved in.
And it doesn't actively want to harm me. So as far as I'm concerned, it's an
also metal.
upward movement.
It's also got a metal exoskeleton, so that's pretty neat.
So I'm just gonna,
But at any time, it could randomly just stop working.
well, we'll deal with that when it happens.
Milk's end goal just has to become Iron Man.
I'm gonna, after this is done, I'm just gonna wrap my arm around Skeleton's shoulders and I'm like, welcome aboard as our medical officer, Alfred.
And with that, this was a minor milestone.
Minor.
Yay!
While we're here, can I just do whatever it takes to get rid of my mild consequence? I forget what we need to do.
Just roll computer and get at least a 2.
Alright, I'll roll it from Polina. Where she is.
No, I will roll it
Yes.
from Polina.
Dang it. I was too slow. Sweet. I don't got no mild anymore. Just my severe.
Does ending the session count as a new scene?
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Well, it will at the start of the next session.
Yeah.
So
is this-
make sure to mark it down at the start of the next session. You recover from your singe.
I removed it by accident.
So,
We're still on the stupid planet.
Yep.
Yeah.
so
We're
that's
never
the end of
leaving.
the session.
Every session is going to be one day on this planet. Maybe.
We have made so much progress. You have now have a
How many
skeleton.
sessions have we been here?
Stupid filler episodes.
We
Stuff
showed
like
up.
this.
With Strike. And that was the episode we collapsed a floor. That was one session. Then we went to the ship, came back, made the peace symbol, and made the other peace symbol. That was another session. Then
I think we've been farting around for 3 sessions now.
Sasha came back. Mind Swords collapsed the tower. Was that one session?
I think so.
And
Yeah,
this
yeah, it was.
session. So we've been here for 4 sessions.
And then there was the knife juggler session.
That's
Is that its own session?
Last session.
Recovering after the tower collapse.
Right. Okay, so 5 sessions then. So yeah,
I'm starting to
running
wonder
around for
if-
3 sessions.
I'm starting
Yeah, I
to
think-
wonder if like the week-long mandate on staying on a planet is like kind of keeping us from like actually moving on.
because otherwise we would be in space doing this. Like,
It's
it
like
wouldn't have been
the
the
first
problem.
planet. The first planet, everybody just like after you killed like a couple, maybe like a couple hundred people, you all got depressed and just sat in the ship for the rest of the time, for like 6 days.
Yeah.
And then
There's
this
nothing left
time,
to do.
like, oh well, yeah, death count's gotten high enough.
We literally done everything we could. We forced world peace on this planet. Like, there's nothing more we can do.
We
But
solved
instead
every
of just
conflict
like,
and
okay,
caused
everybody,
war.
let's sit in the ship again and wait this
But,
out.
like,
It's like,
I keep trying to do that, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'm also trying to do that. That's why I was thinking like, well, this is a good time to recover my magic.
something keeps coming up.
Well, okay. Winnie is training their cultists.
Yeah.
Alfred is going to be serving people as time progresses. Stroik is kind of doing the same thing, except in a cleaning sense.
Like, can we just declare that next session it starts with us leaving, that the 7 days are over?
Please.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah, I think that would be for the best.
Milk is waiting.
Alright, well, see y'all next time when we 100% absolutely actually leave this planet and never come back.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
hold
shoot,
on,
we
hold
left
on.
Sasha. We need to go back.
Hold on.
No,
Yeah, so
we're going
so
back.
Jazz is spending the next 3 days recovering magic. So Jazz gets 3 magic, and Sasha is the wild card.
Yeah, so Jazz is back to full.
Look, we'll just ask him in chat. Like, Sasha, we're skipping over the 5 other days we got here. What are you doing?
I mean, I'm still
Ask
doing
that.
just like one thing a day,
Yeah.
which doesn't really take time, but other things happen.
Right. And Winnie.
It's like the only thing I
Yeah,
did was
fine.
summon the guy.
I think maybe the only thing is that we just need to be more judicious about does this seem like a good time to leave the planet, or is this we can just assume that what we've done continues for the next 6 days and then we move on. We just kind of need to decide
I mean, I can give
for future reference if there's a good stopping point for that particular planet's arc, whether or not we should just start off in space the next session or what have you.
I can tell you
And
what
I am
have
ending the
planned.
end.
No.
Just,